Hey YouTube, welcome to another MicroPod. It's a big one tonight. The Xbox Scorpio launch, the big one to launch the Project Xbox, Xbox One X. We're not doing it unfortunately next weekend because I'm tied up. But as you've probably already noticed, the Shermanator is unable to join us this evening. So a big shout out to him. He's got family commitments, so he won't be able to join us for this evening. But we've got the full team again, and we've also got a special community guest tonight in Insomnatech, who will introduce himself shortly, I expect. Well, he will introduce himself shortly, not I expect, he will. Before any more, and before we start talking about all the subjects that we've got for tonight, it will be predominantly Scorpio, Project Xbox, Xbox One X, because that's what the show's about. But we will be talking a few other things to start off with as well. So before we go any further then, Andy Mack, if you want to give yourself a shout out, mate.
Hello, I've just unmuted my microphone.
We heard you farted as you did it.
Yeah, good. How's it going, YouTube? That's it.
A man of many words. And Delpoi, mate, if you want to give yourself a shout out.
Yo, sorry I missed out last week, lads. Unfortunately, family issues as well. But yeah, back to be on the podcast. It's Del from the DX Mansion. Just like to give a shout out, basically to Dorian, because he's been showing me loads of his gears, accomplishments. Seriously, it's nuts how many of those achievements he's got. It's like some of them are like 0.01. So it's like very rare achievements. He's really representing there. So congratulations to him. Also as well, Hebot's been dropping some great news. So a big shout out to him. He's here though, so he can hear me. And also to Brian as well. Brian's been dropping some good news. It's been really, really good. We've had a good news week. There's been a lot of interesting stuff happening. So yeah, I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, that's been really good on the news this week. No, it's good to have you back, mate, and hopefully your mum's on the mend and everything as well. So glad to have you back. And again, as well, after the podcast last time, he has now become a permanent member to the MicroPod. So he is actually out and about today. So he's our roaming reporter out on the outside. So he may not have quite as good a.
That's brilliant. I'm on the field, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on the field.
He's on location. It's Hebot.
Yes. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Hebot. Vaya, señoras y señores, una vez más with the MicroBox of X podcast with Delpoi and Andy Mack. It's a great.
He's a bad bastard.
It's a complete honor and privilege. Like I said before, MicroBox was kind enough. I thought he was actually pulling my leg, saying, "Hey, mate, would you be cash basically? Would you mind joining us every time we come on, whether it's 2 times a month or whenever it is that he's able to do it?" And I said, "Are you asking? Are you sure it's me?" Because he seems to ignore me. I said, "Absolutely, of course I will." So now, I told him I'd be more than honored and happy to join you guys and help you guys out and talk, whatever topics we can and inform the best that we can with our best of our knowledge. Not trying to be, arrogant or better than one another, but like a family and just helping each other out. So yeah, thanks again for inviting me. It's an absolute pleasure, and hopefully I'll add something to this wonderful project. MicroBox added, began quite some time ago, and his crew and his regular members. Shermanator's not here today, but shout outs to him, because we all have lives, as we all know. And to the guests, I don't really quite know his name, but hi and welcome, and nice to finally get a chance to talk to you for the first time as well.
Yeah, dude.
Talk about. Yeah, sorry, I don't know you by name. What's your name, by the way? I'm sorry, I apologize.
It's Insomnatech.
Oh, it's Insomnatech?
Yes, correct.
Okay, Insomnatech. Hey, Insomnatech, nice to meet you. So hopefully we'll have good topics to talk about, especially with the inevitable Xbox One X, the infamous, the one that everybody wants to hate, the big mystery box, and expectations are, are on the way, and hopefully, a lot of answers will get, a lot of questions will get answered. In other words, Thanks again. So let's have some fun, guys.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I have made the mistake of asking Hebot to become a permanent panel member. It's great to have him on. It's great to have him on. Oh dear. Yeah. So over to our. As I said when we first started doing this is a community podcast. Everybody that's on this show is from the community. And that was the idea behind it. So, and I did say that at the start that I wanted to get people that from the Xbox community onto the podcast and joining in and getting their thoughts out there. So, this week I've invited Insomnatech to join us. He's got his own YouTube channel. Please go and check it out. The link is in the description. So go and check out his channel and drop a like and subscribe. He does great stuff. But Insomnatech, mate, if you want to give yourself a shout out and go for everything that you do, and make sure you check this guy out, guys.
Yeah, guys. I want to just first say thanks. I really appreciate you having me on the podcast. And just in case you don't know me, I do gaming news on my YouTube channel. It's more Xbox focused, and you can find me over there on it's youtube.com/the-Insomnatech. I also do Mixer, Facebook, and Twitch. That's all /Insomnatech. And on Twitter @Insomnatech. I just really appreciate you guys having me on, and I'd love to talk about Xbox and have some fun. So thanks.
Awesome stuff. He subscribed. Nice. No,
Thanks.
I mean it's great to have you on. I know you're probably new to this, so you definitely go and support this. This guy is really good at what he does. This is actually his first ever podcast as well, so it's all going to be new for him. But it's just like having a chat on the phone with some mates. So just enjoy it, get into it, and no, you will love it. Here we go. So the MicroPod number 4. As I say, this is the Xbox One X launch special. But in saying that though, the first thing that we're going to talk about, and this I think this needed to be talked about. This is big news this week, and I think we needed to talk about this. And this was about Microsoft announcing the demise of the Kinect. This is big news, and it's a shame in my opinion. I really like the Kinect. I like the functionality. I think it was an amazing piece of kit. I think what let it down was the developers not really utilizing it enough and really giving it as much use as it should have had. It is still an amazing tool for using Upload Studio and making those videos. You can do some really great stuff with this bit of kit. It's very responsive, and the games that they brought out were good fun, very much like the Wii games of old with the nunchucks and all that sort of thing, but more interactive. I thought it was a great piece of kit, and I just think the developers have really let this device down in a big way, that to the point now where Microsoft have had to just stop producing it, and they have. So I'm really gutted about this. I think this was a really good bit of kit. And this is a good example of, if devs don't get behind something, it's going to fail no matter what. And I think that's what's so good about the Xbox One X. It's obvious that the developers have got behind this, so this is a good sign. But as far as the Kinect goes, rest in peace. I mean, amazing piece of kit. I will always keep mine. I'm never going to get shot of it. What do you guys think? I mean, as you're the guest in Insomnatech, I mean, let's just listen to what you've got to say first. I mean, what do you think of the demise of the Kinect?
I think it's the demise right now, but I do think it may come back when they do a VR solution for Xbox, and because when the Kinect first came out, it, like you said, it was a really good piece of kit. It really had the hardware in it. And, it was a lot of fun. I used to do the Kinect bowling, all types of things like that on the Kinect sports games. Those were fun to play back in the 360 days. But, I think it's not the last we'll see. I just think right now they're not going to be manufacturing them. And, maybe they'll put the technology in the headsets on the VR. Who knows? I think we'll see it in other implementations eventually down the line.
Yeah, I mean, I can see because they've been going on about the HoloLens for some time, haven't they? So obviously something like that working in conjunction with the Kinect, it's got there's still masses of things that this device can do in the future for the Xbox and for gamers, and not just gamers. I mean, even I believe in the earlier days, even surgeons were using the Kinect, you know, for training purposes and things. It's an amazing piece of kit, you know, what they've got in there and the technology available. But yeah, no, I mean, yes, maybe we will see it. I mean, they have said that will still be utilizing the technology in other things, so we just won't see it in this configuration. I always think the big problem, I mean, I don't know if you guys have had this as well with the S, the fact that you've had to have this extra bloody power supply to get the Kinect working. That's been a right pain in the ass. Why they couldn't utilize that in the S as well? I know they were trying to compact it down and make the unit smaller, so they took the Kinect out. So it was a bit of a pain in the neck, and they did that with the 360 one as well, didn't they? That you had to get a separate power supply for it and things. With incarnations of the Xbox 360. So I mean, yeah, I mean, is that all you've got on that, Insomniac? I'll pass on to...
Well, you know, I think the reason they didn't integrate that into the S is I think they knew this was coming, you know, especially because the Kinect games, they had already stopped being made for, you know, years now. And I really think that I think the last really game that implemented it was Rise, possibly, maybe a few other games. But the functionality was still there for the dashboard and that and Cortana. But I think they knew that it was coming, and I think they, you know, they just didn't know why manufacture something that's not being utilized, right? So yes, I think possibly like they said, the technology is just going to, you know, be used somewhere else, and it's probably best for them, you know, not to be manufacturing these things that, you know, aren't being utilized or even put into games or, you know, stuff like that. So
yeah, sure. Dale, what's your thoughts on this, mate?
Well, considering like I was a very early adopter, like I got it on the 360, like yourself. It's sad as hell. And to be honest with you, I know you say that, like, you know, it's the devs, like, you know, we could support it more. Yeah, fair enough, they could have. But do you know what? I really blame most of the moany bitch ass gamers out there who said, we don't want it, I don't want this, it's change, I don't like it. I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, they were innovating. It was something completely new. Yeah, fair enough, Wii's got, like, you know, the motion controls and it can do all the nunchucks and that. This could track your whole entire body. To the point where I've actually still got to this day on my Facebook pictures the moment when I actually pulled my groin and nearly broke my toe playing Kinect Adventures on the 360 when it first came out, and you had to jump. The good old days. But yeah, very sad. It's stupid. It's really annoyed me. Like, I mean, when I got my S, I mean, I'll always upgrade to the newer tech because I like the newer tech. I was really gutted that there was no like other port for it, so I had to get, like, you know, I got the free adapter anyway, and then lo and behold, I get the free adapter. My Kinect dies, so I've got to hurry up and get older one now. So, like, you know, I can still have that functionality, but obviously they brought out the Kinect, well, Cortana, in the form of like the Amazon speaker type thing. You know what I mean? So maybe there's some connection there that they can utilize, like, you know, they can connect up to your X, and, you know, you can use Cortana just like by the side of you, so she could twin as a mic maybe, or I don't know. But either way, yeah, I'm sad it's gone. It's end of an era. People need to get behind some of these things. And if they would have, devs would have actually made more games for it. That's the thing. It's supply and demand. So inevitable, yes. Less painful, no. I'm just sad that it's gone, and I don't care how many people like whine and moan and bitch about me bitching about them. they're the problem. They caused the downfall of it. I hope you're happy, guys. You killed it. I hate you. Anyway,
I know what you
know
mean.
what? I think you're right there, because I think in sort of a different way back in 2013 when the Xbox launched, a lot of it, what happened was the always on functionality, and everybody, you know, getting up in a craze about the Kinect watching you. I think that was a big part. I think it would have lasted this whole generation if that wouldn't have happened. I think that really, you know, put the last nail in the coffin.
But it definitely changed the perspective of a lot of things. I'll get it. Go ahead, Insomnatech. Go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. That's all I had. But at least it'll always be used on Ghost Adventures. I don't know if anybody has seen that. They use it for the Kinect for the Ghost Adventures to see ghosts like stick figures. I don't know if you've seen that.
All right, cool. Well, no, I heard of that. That's cool.
Yeah. There was a game that Shermanator was talking about the other day as well, which I didn't realise used it. I think Hebot mentioned it.
Blue Estate.
No, I'm talking about the
Blue State. Yeah, I heard that.
It's a light gun shooter, but I never knew you can use the Kinect to use it. He told me it's really well refined and that it works very well. So I told him I'm going to try it thanks to him because I never knew that it had that support.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like you, Dale. I mean, I was lucky enough to get offered by Microsoft to actually trial and test the Kinect before it came out. I believe it came out in November, and I got mine in the sort of beginning of August, and I got some free games with it to try as well. And I loved it. I mean, it was the most social gaming I'd done for years. I mean, me and the kids, we were all down playing bowling and Kinect Sports and all that sort of thing. That device pretty much nearly killed me. I used muscles.
Same here. Yeah.
I used muscles in my body playing on that thing that I didn't even realise that I had. And many times I'd be staggering up those stairs like, oh my God, I was knackered. But it was great fun playing the bowling and all the other games that were on that device. And I think it could have been, when you look at what the Wii was able to do with the nunchucks, I think that, you know, it was a missed thing with the Kinect on the Xbox. I mean, Hebot, I mean, what's your thoughts on this, mate? Let's listen to you.
Well, I have a lot in mind. I just want to put it in words. First of all, the Kinect is a very good piece of peripheral and tech that I feel wasn't really tapped on or tapped into to its full potential. I've always said since the first Kinect, it's a fantastic idea because it was executed nunchucks and better than the sticks for the PS4 or PS3 rather, right?
Dildos.
But we all right. we gotta be realistic here. The real reason, okay, because I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, but the real reason why the Kinect got so much hate, you know, Insomnatech hit a point on it, and so did Delpoi, was basically the hate and the backlash that Microsoft was getting from the reveal when the console was created with the whole idea of the Kinect. And most people looked at it as a piece of to be used for games, like a tool that you could use for the games. Will live on in my household until it breaks down and until there's no more out there that I can buy, because to this day I still use it. You know, the Kinect was an idea that was great for people that's like disabled or maybe that have a hard time moving around. With the voice commands, obviously, and doing a lot of other things, because it has the IR blasters in the console, which it supports. In my house, when I turn my Xbox on, it turns on my entire living room system, everything, and it turns it off when I turn off the console as well. So just for that alone, it was a great, it's a great piece of tech to have. Also, a great feature they had that they never utilized was when you bought points. If you scanned it with a scan bar, it just went right in, and you avoided yourself having to type in all those 20 numbers or whatever it is when you buy points, which was very convenient.
Yeah, agree there.
But the real reason why, it didn't do well, it's always online, they're watching it. Be real. Phones are always on, computers are always on. Anything that's electronic using internet type of accessibility is always something that's on. It's online. You can be watching, if that's the case, by anybody. I don't know why the government want to watch a bunch of gamers. You know, here we go with the PlayStation. They had their camera limitations, whether how you use it. You had people doing porn.
I remember like the old PS4 Playrooms gate. Oh my god!
This was a real thing. You know, there were people doing pornos and people were watching. Like,
well, they didn't really have much else to do, to be honest.
Well, that's true too, but still, you know, it's kind of a shame that they didn't put restrictions and clause in it where you could only use it a certain way, and nobody ever called Sony out on that. That was inappropriate. Driven by these consoles, or parents buy them for them. So, where you could only use it while you video stream or did upload studios. Bear in mind, the Kinect is still the only camera in the market that had the highest quality at 1080p. Maybe not for the video capture, but at least when it recorded you.
Yeah, true.
So I still use it for studios, Twitch. I can still use it for Mixer. You know what I'm saying? And I still will continue to use it. It makes perfect sense at Microsoft because people are just not buying it because of the perception of it. Oh, what do I need that for? For what reason? Listen, I can Skype my family right from my living room and see them in Puerto Rico right now, for example, and I can't get in touch with them just with a simple connection. You see? Just with things like that, it no longer becomes a piece of, you know how they call it, a nostalgic product. No, it's more of a piece that you can actually utilize for beneficial things, for things that are wonderful features. I can also use it, you know, to put, you know, bring the volume down, bring the volume up, and I can use it for games like Alien Isolation and Rise and Dead Rising. And Alien Isolation, if you used it, you know, in the game, you had to be quiet because if you hid and you breathe, the alien would hear you, find you.
In space, aliens can hear you fart. You had to be quiet on that game.
Did you turn the volume up for when your wife heard you scream? Playing Alien.
How many times?
I had to turn it. I have to turn it down when my wife screams at me. People won't hear it, and I get embarrassed.
And then the alien, lucky as if say, "Yeah, there, gotcha."
I think, like Insomnatech said, I think it has potential for Microsoft. In the future, maybe they make the next console, maybe build it in right in the console, like the actual camera.
Yeah.
Or tech, you know, because it's still, I think it's beneficial for other reasons. Now, I don't see it as this is for gaming only. No, it's not. It was designed so that family can play games like a family having fun in their living room. Yes. But it's also used, like I said, you can turn on for people that are disabled, for people that can't really move around, just for sheer convenience. It is what it is, and if they're going to utilize the money that for distributing or marketing or keep on making the game, you know, the Kinect product, or something else like games and more things for the Xbox, then I definitely understand why they had to stop production because it's not really selling. But it's a good piece of equipment. And it's a shame that a lot of people think that it was bad without even ever really trying it. You know what I mean? Because it's not like it's not like the PlayStation camera, and it's not like the like a normal camera on a PC. The funny thing is now you can use a PC camera anyway. So if you want to stream and video yourself and record yourself, you still got to buy a camera. So why not just use the Kinect? More affordable, and it works more coherent with the console itself already. You know. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I even tweeted out to my Yamara of maybe the Kinect getting an update, whether it's manufactured anymore or not. Those who already have it, stream in 4K quality their videos, you know, because that's coming for the side cameras or the aftermarket cameras as well. So if they can do that, then it's a breath of life. You know what I mean? So again, perception of Kinect was all misconstrued. It was taken out of context. It should have never been allowed. Microsoft should have been maybe a little bit a message and stuck by it in the very beginning. regardless of what people said, just like Sony does with all their stuff, Nintendo does by bringing out a console that's almost $400 and only have one real AAA title this year. So, I mean, you're always going to have the haters because it's an Xbox product, obviously. But, you know, I hope that they don't stop giving you the option of using it in the future for those who still own it. Because for me, it's not, like I said, I'm going to continue to use it until it breaks down and until I can't get any more. The good thing is it'll go down in price. For all those who don't have it, maybe you can go out and buy it, buy an extra one. So if you have breaks, replace it. That's what I will be doing myself. You know, because again, it's not just for games, it's a tool that you can use to move around in the UI. When you want to shift from one app to another, you can go to Netflix and go back to your game. It's awesome. It really, and it works really, really well. Yes, or, you know, when you're home by yourself, you know, in the privacy of your own time. But it's a shame, you know, but, you know, but it's understandable that they had to stop it because they can't spend money on something that's not really selling. You know, but my take on it is, I hope they just don't stop supporting it as far as for those who still have it and don't want to get rid of it. And maybe down the road, they can implement it in the consoles or in the VRs, like Insomnatech said in Delpoi, so that we can exploit it a little bit better. Because I think there was a lot of potential there because it really hasn't been tapped in.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a great device and everything you said. They're valid. I use mine a lot for Formula 1 2017 just to tell my pit crew what I want to do. You know, so there's loads of games out there still utilising it. Just as an extra off-subject thing as well, Hebot, the Welsh Gamer's watching, eating his dinner, the fat bastard. He said he loves you and hates you for buying him Cuphead. So I think I know where he's coming from.
Yeah, it's from the heart. I'm sorry that you hated me, but it's out of love.
He loves you, really. He does. He does. Andy Mack, what's your thoughts on the Kinect device?
I mean, I think it's a big shame it's gone, but if people aren't buying it, it seems to make sense not to carry on producing it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I can see what you're saying, and I can see why they've stopped it. I mean, it made sense to, didn't it?
I mean, I also agree with Hebot and Delpoi on the how useful the tool is, and I mean, I used it to operate the volume on the control for when I watched DVDs and stuff like that. But they sort of, I think it was on the down when they put the IR blaster thing into the Xbox One S.
Into the S.
Allowed. You could do your controls for your like record that with the microphone on your headset and all that. But later on, I think it's going to be mixed with augmented reality, VR and stuff, and you know they'll really improve on the Kinect 2.0, and we'll have a 3.0 probably next generation, I reckon.
I hope so. I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised if Microsoft just says sod it. I mean, they had so much sort of hate when they launched the Xbox One with the Kinect 2, didn't they? They said, we don't want the Kinect 2, take it out and we'll pay less. And you never keep everybody happy with what they do. So
thing is, you go on YouTube and you go in the comment section. There's always about 2 or 3 people saying, "Oh, it's a waste of money. It was trash." Because that's the common word for things now. It's trash. So they don't give you an opinion. They just say it's trash.
Trash. Yeah. Just if they don't like it, it's trash. That's it.
Hey Andrew, not to interfere in what you're saying, but isn't it funny how they say that? But yet, if you want to do video capture or videos on using your Xbox, right? Because you still have the upload studios and those features, camera, you still have to buy a good mic. So you still have to spend the money extra to do it on the side. It was like the PlayStation guys. They were streaming on YouTube and doing things, but they still had to go buy the camera for $80 that didn't have the implementation of the camera and the mic on one piece. You had to buy them separate. So you still paid $100 separate. It's just you bought it on your own merit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do, yeah.
Well, you know, it's kind of ironic because it's still the same concept. The only difference is it's not Microsoft selling you the piece of equipment. So that's what makes it more. Oh, camera myself or the mic is my choice. I can buy whatever I want. It's still the same principle. It's just you're choosing not to buy Microsoft's product. That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, mine broke before the S came out, and I wasn't really that bothered about replacing it because I never really used it to its full potential as like you would. But I was, you know, they put the IR blaster in, and I was like, yeah, I don't need the Kinect now because I've got that for the remote control. But the one thing good about it is, it's like you said, you can control other things with it and turn your whole setup up on in your room. You know,
you would Skype and also play at the same time too.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we could have been playing at the same time,
I never
you know?
used to do it. I mean, I hardly ever record stuff. I always just stop playing because it's always single player games where I record stuff and all that.
Right.
The one thing that I still do to this day, and I don't think I'll ever grow out of it purely because of like using the Kinect so much, is that like I'll actually sit there if I need to get my phone and like I'm watching like a film or a TV show that's on Netflix and I say Xbox stop or Xbox pause, I'll always say it and then forget I've got a friggin' no Kinect anymore because mine broke. I'm like, no, I have to turn the controller on, like, so, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's sad days.
No, it is a shame. I mean, I don't know if you all remember. I mean, do you remember the videos that Big Kahuna was doing with the Kinect?
Oh, yeah.
And the Upload Studio. I mean, he was doing some amazing stuff with it. I mean, it was a good bit of kit, and you could do a lot with it. It's certainly a shame to see it go. I mean, even you know, even if it's not everybody's cup of tea, there's still a market out there. There's still a demand for it.
Yeah, the Big Kahuna was doing a lot of snow ones, if I remember. I remember all the snow ones where it was like a ski thing. Do you remember the ski, like the snow?
Oh yeah, the ski. Yeah.
I remember. They were awesome.
Dear. We got loads of people in the chat tonight. So quick hello to everybody. Dean, the Welsh Gamers there, Mr. Zogs. Craze Gaming, Craze Simmers Gaming, he's there as well. Cheers for checking in.
Welsh Gamer, he's a stalker.
He is a stalker, yeah. There's some weirdo called Andy Mackay. Luca.
What a retard he is, Andy Mac.
Winky Gaming's there. Who else is there? My God, there's so much going on in this chat. Some weirdo called Cypher Whitewater Stevens. I don't know who the hell he is. He's obviously dodgy.
He's stolen your name, hasn't he?
Yeah.
No.
Flipman is there as well. Mr. Glass, Matthew M. No, we do appreciate it, guys. We do appreciate your support. We do this because we enjoy doing it, but the fact that people actually want to listen to us as well is always a bonus. Roughhouse Gaming as well. He's just joined the chat. Welcome, guys. We do appreciate your support. Right, so I think we're done on the Kinect. I think we've done wiping our tears. Let's move on to our next subject. And I think this is, again, you know, this is the Xbox One X launch special, but there's more big news and we've got to cover it. OG Xbox back compatibility dropped this week. And we had a full list of 13 games with Black, Blood Rain 2, Crimson Skies, High Road to Revenge, Dead to Rights, Fusion Frenzy, Grabbed by the Ghoulies, King of Fighters, Ninja Gaiden Black, Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, Psychonauts, Red Faction 2, Sid Meier's Pirates, and Knights of the Old Republic. When I saw that name on that list, I got an instant arousal. And I'm actually playing through it.
Chris, this is a family show.
I saw that and I could not believe what I was reading, Knights of the Old Republic, and I cannot believe the quality that these games look. The video sequences aren't great. They're still in their original format, so they do look a bit pixelated, but the actual in-game stuff just looks absolutely amazing. Knights of the Old Republic is just, it just plays beautifully. I've also got, what else have I been playing? I've got Knights of the Old Republic 2. Oh, I already had Sid Meier's Pirates and Black. They look amazing. And I cannot believe that this is purely just from emulation software that they've been able to produce this sort of quality. I've actually, if anybody checks my Xbox gamer tag, Cloned Trooper, I've actually put up some game footage. I actually caught some footage. If you want to go and check it out, please do so. But it looks incredible. Insomnatech, mate. I mean, have you played any of these games? Have you got any games on the back compatible? What do you think of the fact that they've done this?
Not yet, but you know what? I do think this is amazing, and like I've said before, this is just another benefit of having a console from the world's premier software development company. It really shows, like they are dedicated to giving the consumer what they want. Some of these games are classics, and I think a lot of people are happy. I'm on more of the side of this is a nostalgia, and we'll play these games for a couple hours here and there, and move on. I'm kind of like one of those guys who like to play the new game that comes out, and sometimes I do like to go back to older games and dabble here and there, but it's nothing too crazy. But I honestly think Microsoft has outdone themselves, and they really deserve praise, because nobody else is doing this. I don't know if you guys remember from the original Xbox to the 360, everybody wanted back compat then, and
yeah,
exactly, and it was a thing, and nobody was doing it. PlayStation did it for like a month or something, and then cut it off from their console and said they weren't going to do it anymore.
I think there was a special model, didn't you, with a certain hard drive to do it?
Yeah,
that was it.
exactly. Go ahead, Heba.
Yeah, it was the first model, the first PlayStation 3 model, the one that supported it. Yep.
Yeah, the 60 gig hard drive one.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Back compat is always something. It's always been a hot topic. People do want it when a new console comes out, and I think the thinking back then was different, where they wanted to sell you. Maybe I don't know why they'd never thought that this would be a good thing, or I guess it would be the technology wasn't quite there yet, and they had to emulate it in different ways, and they just didn't always know how to do that. But now that they're actually putting their minds together and doing it, and even if it's through emulation and brute force, it really pays off, and it really gives people confidence in Microsoft and saying, this is a company that I want to, purchase my games through, actually build a library with, because I know they're going to go forward now. And I think that's very important.
Yeah, I mean, the whole feature, I mean, it just gives people, I mean, there's different types of gamer, isn't there? There's the sort of the gamer that just wants to play the current games, but there are gamers like myself and Hebot that want to go back, and Dell as well as Andy Mack, I'm sure, that want to go back and revisit these games and play them in the best possible way. And you could certainly do that. I mean, the fact that we've now got 360 back compat, we've got original Xbox back compat on the one system. And if you've bought any of those games in the past digitally, they just appear on your catalog already to download as well, which it's just incredible. And it's options. At the end of the day, we don't have to use them. We don't have to buy the old games. We don't have to look at the old games. But as gamers, and Microsoft and the Xbox team have given us that choice to have that option to do that. And that's something that Sony and the PlayStation team seem adamant that they're not going to give their gamers the option. We'll make that decision for them. They're not going to have it, and that's that. So it's all good on the Xbox camp. Really is really positive.
As we know, Sony just doesn't seem to be interested in this at all. They're more interested in selling you the service to do it, rather than giving the good faith to say, you've already bought these titles, we're going to let you use them. You know what I mean? It's just like the Nintendo way of thinking, to resell you what you've already purchased. And that may be why a lot of people move to PC at the end of the 360 era. But I really think it really shows that Microsoft has goodwill in saying, you bought a product, you can carry it on to your next console. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's just the way that Phil Spencer and the team are taking it. They want the Xbox console to do everything from the back compatible, their old catalog, have it all available to us. They've said that the OG Xbox back compat program won't be as sort of as enhanced as the Xbox 360 back compat program, purely down to licensing rights, and I believe some of the companies aren't even going anymore. So it's understandable that would happen.
Did EA get to them?
But like Insomnatech said, though, I mean, Sony aren't interested in something like that unless they can charge for it. They want to be able to charge for that service, and I think that's why we're not seeing crossplay as well. Unless Sony can actually charge a fee for crossplay, they're not going to be interested in it. It's as simple as that.
They've already got a fee, though. They got PlayStation Plus.
Yeah,
it's exactly the same, really, isn't it? So, anyway.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Xbox, if Sony did that, they would never, put in the work to get them to look better. You know what I mean? Like they would just throw them out there and say, "Hey, let's charge you this fee, and you can play those games." Xbox actually up-res these games, so they actually fit on our 4K and HD TVs and look good. I think that's awesome.
Well, this week they've announced that they will be in 4K, and they haven't upscaled them or like touched the code or something like that.
Right. You got to remember, guys. Sony said very clear. Okay, they said very clear that this was very hard to do. When the reality of that message was, why would we spend money to do this, right? If we could just charge you for the same game, add maybe some trophies, and charge you an arm and a leg for something that's really old. I'll give you a perfect example. Psychonauts is $14.99. It's the PS2 version, and it has no kind of upgrade whatsoever. Nothing, just trophy support. And the trophies are limited to like maybe 5 or 7. It's not really a lot of them. Okay, so cool that they have the trophies, but the games themselves still run pretty much the way they ran on PS2. What makes this a wonderful feature is that 6 was the core processor for the OG Xbox, which is the same core processor as well for the Xbox One and even the PlayStation 4. So when it came to 360 to the OG to 360, it was a lot more difficult because you had to binarily do those numbers to match the architecture of the 360, which was completely different from the OG. But Microsoft knows that a lot of people out there have bought OG Xbox after the fact and during the time it was out, and have a lot of these games that they kept in their collection. Because a good game, whether it's old or not, is a good game. And you can have the option to go back whenever you want to. And this is what makes it a beautiful feature in the sense that anybody has the option to just go and play whatever they want, especially if you own the disc. And then they price the games at a very, very reasonable price at $10 each, with the exception, I think, of one, but that, I think, has to do more with the company itself, the publisher of Red Faction. So you can buy them because Microsoft came out with this console when obviously we all know the PlayStation was the dominant force with the PlayStation 2 in the gaming industry in that era. So a lot of people never really were had the chance or were too blinded by that, PlayStation is the way to go only to play these games on Xbox because they have a lot of exclusives that were never even on PlayStation. So with something like this, now for those people that may have migrated to Xbox or bought an Xbox for the first time in their life, are going to get an X for now, that's coming out now, for whatever reason. Also have the chance and the ability and opportunity to play these games that they might have never played, whether they're old or not, and they can enjoy them for what they are and go back to them in their own leisure. It's funny because now it's like, PlayStation, we don't need that, we need new games. Well, guess what? On Xbox, we got the new games and we got all the old games for free, basically. Unless you don't own the disc, you go buy it for a couple of dollars and that's it. So for us, it's a win-win either way. But yet you see something like Ratchet & Clank that got remastered. It's the same game. It's the third time they remastered it. And it was one of the highest selling games last year for PlayStation 4. You see what I'm saying? Some people want to play older games as long as they're tweaked up. With Microsoft, maybe they're not as tweaked up, let's say, as a Crash or or as a Gears of War Ultimate, or as a, like I just said, Ratchet. So they give it to you for a better price, but they still tweak it up where you would take advantages of your TV screen. You can play them in 4K on the X. They already confirmed it. It's not upscaled. It's actually native. And you can play them in 1080p in the S, or on the S. So, options is always good. And being able to carry your collection from this point forward without having to worry to keep the other console, or if your console breaks down and you can no longer find it, is a wonderful thing. It's not a bad thing. That's a beautiful thing. And they're not charging you for it. So, anyone that tries to downplay it and say, oh, this is a bad thing, this is not really a good thing, either you're just oblivious or ignorant to the situation or the reality of it, or you're just trying to troll and you really want to be a hater just because it makes you get attention and it's fun to you. Because for all real gamers, being able to go play your old Pac-Man and your Double Dragons, and in this case, your Crimson Skies and your Panzer Dragon Orthos, and in my case, that I've been playing religiously, the Ninja Gaiden Black, it's a beautiful thing. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. As a matter of fact, I streamed for 2 hours on Mixer, but I got corrupted somehow because I was trying to show my playthrough where you get all the scarabs, the arcade version of Ninja Gaiden. For those who may not ever had it.
I saw one of your clips on your feed, Hebot. Like, I liked it. Like that one where you were fighting the winged lizard enemy thing. Like, that looked tough, that, man.
Oh, yeah, Irma. That's the sister.
It was a good.
Yeah, I know exactly.
As well, actually, it was clear and crisp as day. So yeah, it looked really good.
That's another thing, Delpoi. The Ninja Gaiden holds so well that it looks like a 360 game, and it's unbelievable because it's a 3-year-old game. You know what I'm saying? And it looks really, really good. It looks fantastic, and it plays really well. Like these backwards compatibility games launched, and they seem to be more polished than the 360 ones that first launched because loading is really fast. They're playing really well. There's no freezing. As a matter of fact, if you guys didn't know, I think Black did not have an up-res to it, and they just patched it yesterday for free. So if you put in your Black, it's up-res now, like the PC version. It was patched yesterday for free.
We can hear Micro scrambling for his copy there.
Yeah, I'm scrambling for something. I don't know what it is.
It's good that they put Black, because Black was one of those games that came out at the end of the cycle of the PS2 and the OG Xbox, and a lot of people didn't get to play it, and it's a very good game. So now with this option for, especially for the one in the Xbox ecosystem, you can play the game, and the game costs like in the aftermarket. Even though I will say on eBay, some people skyrocket the price of the games once they found out that it was backwards compatible. Like Blood Rain 2 went from being a $7 and a $5 game to like a $30 game now. People are selling it for like $30. Believe it or not. So, and something like Black you could probably get for $8. Even Field, Amazon or eBay, depending on who's selling it. So again, I mean, these are AAA consoles from 2 generations, 3 generations back that you're going to take with you. It's kind of like the same idea with controllers. From this point forward, we can buy as many controllers as we want, and we'll always have the benefit to use it on whatever future console comes out. Because Phil said that. I want people to be able to keep their investment and always take it with them and not have to feel like they wasted their money or they had to throw it away. They had no use for it anymore. You see what I'm saying?
It's adding to the convenience again, where you don't have to unplug one console to plug another one in just to play one game. So it's just an easy option, isn't it? Makes sense to do it.
Absolutely. Plus, let's be real, the OG Xbox is not going to give you the same type of quality because as the X, because it's not designed to be able to up-res it. Even though the OG Xbox was the first console to do 1080i, and Dragon's Lair, for example, was 1080i on the Xbox, as I have the game, the platformer, based on the old point-and-click game from the arcade. but they did a platformer using the same graphic style. It was 1080. So the console itself can't do it. But with the X, obviously in the S, you can because it's newer hardware, more modern, obviously. So it's still the better option to play these games on the Xbox One over the OG. So regardless, like I said, the option is good, and this is a wonderful thing, especially for somebody like Insomnatech. He just said he really never really dabbled on OG Xbox stuff. And guess what? Insomnatech, now you have the option because they even put the games intending to put some of the games on the Game Pass. Because you can get Black on the Game Pass. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's been put on there already, hasn't it?
Right. So you pay $10 for the
That's great. They give you the option.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You Game Pass instead of paying $10 just for Black alone, and guess what? You have access to hundreds of games, and you can still play Black. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And you know what? Somebody mentioned scrambling. Well, you know who's scrambling? It's Sony, because they had to push out this 7 new games they announced, because we keep hearing all these great things that Microsoft's putting out, like the OG Xbox, like the 360 compatibility, in the Xbox One X coming out. All these things in the Game Pass. I mean, just everything. And it's because somebody said it in chat. I can't remember who it was, but they said it in chat about the 7 games coming out. And I just think that's Sony scrambling because of what we see here.
Ace and Insomnatech, let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
That's Sony of all the positivity that Microsoft's getting from the inevitable launch of the Xbox One X, right? And the fact that they're having good feedback from the backwards compat and the features with the new, dashboard, and being able to gift games now. All these good, positive news that we haven't really been used to since the beginning of the generation with Xbox. And so now they're like, okay, we got to kill some of the noise and try to take some of the thunder away. So games we're going to announce. Okay, 7 new games. What games will they be? Are they going to be smaller indie games? Are they going to be things that are new and fresh, just reimaginations of old things? Because it works both ways. If people complain that Microsoft hasn't made enough new stuff, when they've made the most AAA generation, period, hands down, and the same, and it works both ways. And what's the point? Shadow of the Colossus is being remastered with new graphics, right? But they're going to charge you $60 for the game.
And it's been remastered a few times.
They're not even going to add the Colossus that were deleted from the original game. They're not adding nothing new. The new graphics with the same engine, and they're charging you $60, and it comes out next year. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. It'd be like, I'll just bend over and pass the lube. Basically, all it is, like, just take my money. Take my money. Take it.
The thing is, though, if they release these 7 games, right? How many games haven't you finished so far this year? You're not going to play all those 7 games. They can release 5 games, and it's like, yeah, but you haven't completed the first game yet.
I think they're just going to announce 7 new games.
They're just announcing. They're not. Yeah.
The thing is,
right.
They announced Guardians, didn't they?
They announced God of War, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
Yes.
So only have game development times of 10 years, for Christ's sake. So I mean,
the last doggy, yeah.
The game was still running on the engine from PS3. All it was that it had the 1080p resolution. But the game engine itself, you could tell it was old. They didn't do nothing new to it. They took it off the shelf and continued to work on it. That's what they did. You can see it in the product because the game is really lackluster. It really isn't something to write home about. And it's a shame because everybody's, Microsoft, oh my God, they announced State of Decay, Crackdown, Sea of Thieves 3 years ago, it's still not out. But yeah, when Sony announced, Days Gone, Detroit was announced on the PS3 era, they just said that game with Kojima is just started production and writing, and God of War is sometime next year, early next year. Even though it started work on it 5 years ago, it's okay because it's Sony that announced. It's the standard, and it shouldn't be because Games take long to make, period. The only difference is that Microsoft, when they announce it, they're being bad to us. Microsoft is lying. They want to take advantage of us. They're fooling us so that we can stay on their product. And when Sony does it, because they just want to take their time because they want to make a masterpiece. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So,
That's why I'm glad that Phil's took that stance now, and a lot of people agree with it. But he's took the stance of we won't announce anything until we're bang on sure that it's going to be coming out either like the end of the year or the beginning of the next. I prefer it that way. That's
after
better.
what happened with Fable and with what happened with what was Scalebound. I had it written down. With what happened with Scalebound, stop crying. With what happened with those two games,
that game.
Phil Spencer's learned a lesson, and it's a lesson that I think Sony need to take on themselves and not announce these games so early on in their development.
They won't take it on because PlayStation games, like, not all PlayStation games, but the subset of like really vocal like trolls just lap it up and love it and like to throw it at you, and it's like, well, yeah, but you've been throwing the same old stuff at me for 3 years. Is anything new?
Yeah.
Down. Where's the? None of those games have gotten official release, and they're not talking about them no more. They were supposed to have been out with the reveal of PS4. Uncharted 4 was announced in the reveal of PS4. It didn't come out till last year. So what's the difference? You know what I'm saying?
I tell you what, I went to the cinema last night, and they've added God of War into the advert for PlayStation. It's like it's not even out yet.
Oh, it's everywhere. They've been running that commercial for a while now, and you can pre-order it. And they announced it. How long ago, and it's still not out. But
it's definitely coming up to 3 years now, at least. I think it was around Gamescom or something like that.
They need to change their slogan to the pre-order awaits.
Have you all noticed? Have you all noticed that they've changed their marketing? They've changed their thing to dynamic 4K on their adverts now. They don't say 4K. They say dynamic 4K.
Started on that. Oh, God.
Now they don't say the world's most powerful console. Now they say the world's best-selling console.
Yeah.
I have a Pro, and honestly, I thought it was going to be a good console. I thought they were going to support it, and I am highly disappointed in this lack of support. Like a lot of people say, they only got 60 some games supported for the Pro, and Xbox One X already has 150. That's incredible, because Xbox went out and did the work that's needed to talk to these developers to get them to be on board, and Sony didn't. They just said, oh, we're Sony, everybody's just going to do it. And that's not the case. The industry just doesn't go, we'll just give you, we'll just do free work for you. You actually have to go out and incentivize and talk to these developers.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that for their customer. Like, Sony needed to do that for their customers, and they didn't do it. Even their first party games don't even, like some of their first parties, like Bloodborne. It's one of my all-time favorite games. I'm a Dark Souls fan, by the way, and they don't even support that game like on the Pro. That's crazy to me, and that's their first party, published game.
It's
console was created with they added more teraflops, but they didn't add the other components to actually be able to utilize and make a difference within the game itself. Because Neo, which is another, Team Ninja game that in the essence of Dark Souls, you can run it on the Pro is 720p in 60 frames. You see what I'm saying? So, Dark Souls running that way, when Rise was 930 on the Xbox One with no extra teraflops. It was 1.3. You know?
Agreeing definitely with what Insomnia said. They just basically took it as, we're PlayStation, you're going to do it for us because we're the big boys, la la la, beat my drum, bum bum bum. But at the end of the day, Microsoft, and obviously because it is to do with the Xbox One X, this show, have done the right thing. I went and spoke with all of the devs collected all of the data and made sure that this machine is streamlined for the developer. I mean, it's good for us, but if you make it so the developer doesn't have to do hardly as much work, then they're going to jump on board, and they're going to jump on board and grasp it with both hands and think, yes, finally, it's easier, because it means less problems getting to the deadlines, because we all know, like in that industry, the deadlines are brutal. They have to work themselves to the, like, you know, to the bone just to try and get these like games out. So I think Microsoft really, like, hats off to them for actually going and listening to all the devs and then streamlining the whole entire thing for them. Because, like, you know, some of the games are only taking a couple of hours just to like port over, or like, you know, 2 weeks, big games, like, you know what I mean? It's unheard of. So,
no, so they did an amazing job on it. I mean, just before we move on, who didn't talk about OG? Del, did you get to?
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, the one game that I'm definitely going to get. I mean, I love Knights of the Old Republic because I'm a big Star Wars fan anyway. So I will end up getting that. But I want Fusion Frenzy because that's the one game I missed out on. I did not play that game, and when I saw it getting played at E3. And how much fun it looked in those like little balls that they were in, and then there were big sumo wrestler things, and it just looks like a fun party game. Hopefully, they add online capability to that game.
Yeah, sure.
Me personally, I'm a bit like Insomnia in the sense of, in a way, I've already played through all those games. I look for the next new big experience and what's, you know, the next new big thing.
Yeah.
Not to say that, like, thingy, like, you know, having the option there is bad, because it isn't. That's the great thing about it. It's options. You need to give all the consumers as much options as they want. And the great things with games is, like, say with like PC gaming for a second, like, you know, all the games will always work. All of them, all the old ones, all the way up to new ones. You know what I mean? So they're just basically broadening that spectrum for console, which has never been done before. It's always been buy the next piece of bit, like, you know, and then you bit of kit, and you've got to buy all the rest of the new stuff with it. Yeah. So sure. Yeah, definitely. It's just consumer friendly completely from the start.
And that's what Microsoft is about. That's what Xbox, the Xbox team, is about, isn't it? That's what Phil Spencer wants. How about you, Andy? What have you been playing, if any?
To be honest, I haven't played any OG Xbox games this week, just because loads of TV shows we're airing this week. And do
you want me to give you major spoilers for Stranger Things 2?
Hang on. Let me just jot this down. Andy's played no games this week.
I have actually.
Question position on MicroPod.
I've been playing Batman Origins on the
good man,
the 360 game, and I've started Red Dead Redemption.
But
I have installed Knights of the Old Republic and Ninja Gaiden, and I will be playing them.
Ninja Gaiden.
I've already played it, but I've.
It's a fantastic game.
I think OG Xbox games are great coming onto the system, and if you go back to the launch of the Xbox One, a lot of people said, "I'm not getting it because it's not back compatible." So now it is.
Yeah,
and
it shuts that conversation completely down.
Yeah, and it's just great. I mean, we should be playing as much games as we would like to. On, you know, whether it's last year.
Xbox has no games. Yeah, my ass. I'm sorry, got games coming out of me bloody years. There's too many.
That's the thing with that argument. That's the thing with that argument. Is it's like, what do you think we do? Play with a dashboard? No, we play games on our consoles.
Loads of games on them.
I mean,
I'm sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to add one more thing. Delpoi was talking about playing the games on PC and stuff. Just to let you guys know, if you try to run an OG Xbox emulator on PC, it doesn't work very well.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Know that? It's bad. So, I mean, some games work, but for the most part, it's not really
You'll only really get like the SNES, maybe Nintendo, Game Boy, like that type of really old, like the 6-bit, like 8-bit, 16-bit. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But most of them work well, but a lot of them also have hiccups. So the fact that it's really on the Xbox at such a pristine and bugless way is a very good thing as well. I just wanted to let you guys know that.
Yeah, definitely good point.
Yeah, and I agree. Like I said, that's one of the benefits of owning the console from, such a amazing developer. They run Windows. They have so many programs, software programs. These guys are, good at what they do. And that's just another benefit to it, to owning the Xbox.
Insomnatech, they have to play the game from beginning to end to figure out where all the bugs are. That's a lot of work if you think about it.
True.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, these guys are good at what they do. Like the Xbox guys over there are awesome, and it's just a benefit of owning an X.
Can't be a bad job after all, can it? Though, to play all the way through all these games. Pretty cool, if you ask me.
It's all about choice, and we're given the choice. We're not. The decision isn't made for us. We're given the option, and we make the choice ourselves. I wouldn't be too surprised if we didn't see the OG Xbox program come to PC with the.
It probably will do.
With that,
that's an untapped market, like Hebot was just saying, because like it is true. Emulators, they're abundant. You can get them like on PC. Do they work all the time? Hell no.
No.
I'm not always
as hell.
Yeah, so
really
that's another avenue that they can be making revenue in, and the more revenue they get in from games, the more games they can make. So it's a big circle.
Well, that's it. And for those guys out there that haven't tried it yet, I mean, the games that you've got to play, you've got to try Fusion Frenzy, you've got to play Ninja Gaiden Black, you've got to play Crimson Skies. Did I say that one? You've got to play Knights of the Old Republic. It's an amazing game.
I thought Prince of Persia was actually a good game.
Yeah,
Prince of Persia. I haven't got that one yet. I did have it. I did have it, and I thought I had it, but I haven't. I've got Warrior Within. I was very disappointed when I put that disc in and nothing came out. So there you go. What I would like to see, Indiana Jones. I want to see that game come to compatibility. If they could clean that up the way that the others have been cleaned up, I will have another rising moment.
You just gave me a flashback mentioning that game there. I've not played that game in pure time, and that was a good one.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that one.
Whilst we're on the subject of OG gaming as well, Davy Jones left a question in the trailer for us regarding
Davy Jones. As Locker. It's awesome,
Davy Jones.
He said, "Do you think we'll see any chance of achievement support coming to OG Xbox games?" I don't want to know. I don't want to say, because on the Dragon X podcast about 4 weeks ago, somebody asked us, "Do you think they'll bring OG Xbox games to back compatibility?" And we all went, "No." So I don't want to.
I'll chime in here. I reckon yes, because at the end of the day, what we saw when we first got the Xbox One was that the developers themselves could drop in weekly or daily challenges to earn achievements. So technically, they could do that. They could drop in, you do so much in the game and you can get an achievement. That's what they made the Xbox One open to. You can do these challenges. So I wouldn't say no, to be honest. I think that's a definite. Well, not definite, but I think it's a possibility.
I think it's a possibility. I think they didn't want to touch the code in it. I don't think it's a problem with actually saying this person did this and they get the achievement dropped. I think it's a problem of connecting the two, of actually sending the signal from the game to Microsoft server saying that they,
good point. Yeah, the code's got to link up.
And I think they said they didn't want to touch it. I mean, I hope they do, and get them achievements in there, because some people love achievements, and I think that would be really, really cool that if they did that. But well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, it'd be a good incentive for more people to want to actually get more use out of the service as well. So yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I must admit, actually, I mean, I secretly dislike achievements in the fact that they sort of put me off playing games that don't have achievements in, and I hate that. You know,
I've teased you. You've not got it yet.
I've turned into an achievement whore, and I hate that.
Well, with the new Dash update, that's what I really love about being able to add the blocks to like basically your homepage, because it tells you when like how much off your next achievement you are in the right hand block.
Yeah, that's good.
I think that's ace that, because I'm looking at thinking, all right, I'm close to it, so I'll check it, and then I think, all right, I've got to do this. Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm not so sure about that. I'd like to see it, but I don't know if it will happen. The main thing for me at the moment with OG Xbox, and I know it's one of those you always want more, but with a game like Crimson Skies, it needs multiplayer. I think they need to find some way of putting the multiplayer servers back on. Whether they need to do an emulation to sort of trick the game into thinking it's using Xbox Live of old, but it's on the new. I don't know, but I think it on Crimson Skies, games like that, you're really missing out on the you know, the multiplayer side of it. And also, you know, as they add more games, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of games coming to this. They've said there's not going to be as many on this as Xbox 360, but we're still going to see these games dropping. I mean, I'll be amazed if we don't see some of the Rainbow Sixes drop. There's a lot of us out there that bought DLCs for these games, you know, that we would like to download again, and as it stands at the moment, because there's no service.
Give me my stuff.
Yeah, you know, it would be nice to have that, and Crimson Skies is a definite. It's crying out to be played. I mean, yes, I mean they are bloody clever. I mean, they've said that you can sort of. I've got my OG Xbox right here. They've said that you can sort of do link play. I just want to slash. I love it.
It's broke now.
It's broke, yeah.
You look who we got like the actual backwards compatibility now. You broke the thing.
But you can link play between the Xbox One and that system to play 2 or 4 player or whatever. But it'd be nice to just have those servers on. Sorry, Hebot, you were saying something.
No worries. I was also thinking, if you guys may or may not agree with me, this is also a good platform for Microsoft with the OG backwards compat to see what of their intellectual properties that they had in that generation up stride, and people might catch them again, and for them possibly to making or a rebooted version of those set games that get well to the OG program, because they can use that.
Yeah, see which IP gets the most hits. See which ones like got the under, like, you know, basically the actual surge of support underneath it, that they could say, you know what, actually, let's make another one. That's a good idea. That's good.
Look at the cheer that Crimson Skies got. You know, why not do why not redo that?
Remember by the Goonies in the rare remake.
Sorry, it just makes me laugh, that name. Grabbed by the Goonies.
Then they did Voodoo Vince for only 15, but they actually rezzed it up with better textures and everything. And you know, and I think that was part of the idea, because they did fairly well, and I think there, so they want to probably part of the community as well, for the people that enjoy those old IPs. I mean, even things like from Sega, like Panzer Dragoon and Crazy Taxi and Valkyrie and Otagi and Ninja Blade, stuff that are older that people never played that were fantastic. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
Definitely. Right then, guys. I think we've we're only supposed to do our 2-hour podcast, and it's supposed to be the Scorpio launch, and we've been an hour and a half on all the subjects we've been talking so far. We've got to get onto the Xbox One X, haven't we? We are, as it stands, 10 days away from the launch of 10 days away from the launch of Project Xbox One X, Project Scorpio, the beast. And before we go any further, there is a disclaimer at the bottom here. It says PS4 Pro There is no secret source that is going to close that gap in technology. I'm afraid that if you want the spec of the Xbox One X, buy an Xbox One X. There's no secret source.
Just like you told us over and over and
And that was when it
again.
was a minimum gap. That was when it was a minimum gap. We were talking less than half a teraflop. Now we're talking a gap of 2.5 teraflops, and now you're talking about secret source. It's not going to happen. We have got a system dropping in 10 days with an 8 custom x86 core clocked at 2.3, an integrated AMD graphics card with 6 teraflops of performance, 12 gigabytes of GDDR5, and a 1 terabyte storage.
And also 9 gigs of that is actually used for the games, which has never been done before.
Exactly. And the rest is for devs.
Boom.
You know, this console is an absolute beast. I've seen it working. Andy Mack has seen it working. We've played on it. The Welsh Gamer has played on that console. We've played Forza 7 in 4K.
I can feel him still lurking there in the comments. He's there.
Yeah, he's still there. This console has to be seen to be believed. The power is incredible. I'm excited. 10 days away. I cannot wait to get my hands on this system. This is what we've got to talk about. We have got to talk about the launch of the X now. This is the thing that's got the gaming media and all of the real gamers talking. You know, people at Digital Foundry are singing its praises. IGN, all of the big sort of companies.
They're finally waking up to the fact that it wasn't just talk. It wasn't just
talk. Microsoft aren't stupid, and after what happened with the launch of the Xbox One, they were not going to go out and say things about a console that were not true, and it's been backed up. And the more and more people see the console actually running in stores and for demos and things with their own eyes, then they will realize just how powerful this system is. It's an amazing system, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. It does question, and this question was mentioned earlier. Insomnatech mentioned this, so I'm going to go to him first. The $499 price, the $499 price tag, as it is in America. You've said it yourself in a video, I believe this week, Insomnatech, where you feel that this is more than good value for the price. What's your give us your views on the price tag and whether you think it's overpriced?
Well, yeah. Honestly, I think it's like you said in that video I made. I said one of the best benefits of this is the price, the $499 price, because they could have easily charged more. And just to put some perspective on it, I don't know if you've seen the video on Digital Foundries, but they did a video where you could run 4K on a GTX 970. And a 970 is only 3.9 teraflops. Okay, we're looking at 6 teraflop compute power on this GPU, and that puts it in the line of a GTX 1070. And a 1070 can run 4K in a closed ecosystem, like we've already seen in Forza 7, 60 frames a second, 4K, HDR, the whole package, and you're just not getting that for a $499 price point on the PC side, on any side, on any anybody's platform, on Sony's, Nintendo's. You're just not getting that. And if you're 4K ready or even 1080p, because we know it can downsample, you're getting a great experience. You know, PC. It costs a lot to run a PC. I mean, people want to say no, it doesn't. Of course, you can go and put together a rig at a flea market or from Craigslist and build up something that you can game. But you're not gaming at 4K. You're definitely not getting 60 frames a second anywhere near the price of $499. Like we said, a GTX 1070, the price on that is $439. And that's just for the graphics card, not the processor, not the Blu-ray player, not the memory, not the motherboard, not the cooler. That's none of that. And you're getting it. So that's why I say the price is the best thing about this console for what you're getting. And I think that's just awesome.
I still can't believe to this day that Sony didn't put a 4K Blu-ray player in the Pro. I just find that amazing.
It blew my mind when I brought it home and it couldn't do 4K Blu-rays, especially because Sony, you know, is a proponent of that, and they helped push the format. It's and here's something else I ranted about real quick, guys. Let me get it. They don't support their apps like Amazon and what was the other? Voodoo. None of them support 4K, and that's what Sony said. They didn't put the 4K Blu-ray player in because they were going to go digital, but their apps are not supporting it. So it's a shame.
I would say I'm surprised by that, but to be honest, I'm not. They're really not. Like, I mean, the thing coming from someone who, I mean, I've not got the same history, like, and depth of knowledge that Hebot has, like, with all the, like, you know, computer systems and that. But, like, I mean, I've been game for 37 years. I like staying on the curve, like, with all the new tech. I mean, I'm on my second 4K television. I'm lucky enough to, like, that I don't have any other vices. Basically, I just game and I watch films. That's so all my money goes to that. But I had to upgrade my 4K TV just so I could have the HDR on it. I did all my research, made sure it was perfect, and the I just put my S on it. It looks phenomenal. So to know that I'm going to be able to get this piece of tech that is going to just take complete use of my whole entire setup and give me the experience that I wanted, it's just like, yeah, I mean, the price, like you say, the price over here is $449, but that is peanuts. It's the same price as when the Xbox One first came out with the Kinect. You know what I mean? But yeah. It does, like, basically 4 times the res. It's silly. And apart from that, it's not just the res, though. That's the thing. Like, everybody's like, oh, it's res this, FPS that. It's not just the res. It's the textures. It's the lighting. It's, like, you know, the field of view. It's, like, basically the draw distance. It's everything. It's all those yummy bits that we never get to see, and we're going to see it. Yeah. I mean, I'm, like, obviously, like, you know, a bit jealous of, like, Andy and, like, you know, Micro, and obviously I'll lurk in the comments, Welsh Gamer, because they got to play it, which is not fair. Yeah, I actually got.
I sent you pictures. I sent you pictures. What more do you want?
Yeah, I know you did. You also sent me videos. And to be honest, like, in one of the videos, Welsh was too far away, like, in his own little world, watching the thingy to know that you two were shouting at him. He was sort of like, oh, I could see it. Like, his eyes lit up. But yeah, I got me in my email this week to say from Game, we're going to be taking your money early because your console's due out next week. And I was like, wait a minute, is it out next week? Is it? Is it? And then checking it, no, it's still another week. Damn it. So I'm still gonna wait, but yeah, it's like that. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
So we can taste it.
But yeah, that's my take on it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm picking mine up midnight, so I'm excited.
Nice.
Mine's coming Amazon. It says between 7 and 9 p.m. If a delivery driver delivers it at 9 p.m., he better be fast, because I'm going to be chasing that bastard down the road.
He'll probably turn up at your door and say, "Let me guess, Xbox One X," because he'll be delivering that many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he comes up at 9, just give him a slap. Says, "You should have come earlier, mate. How dare you?"
You'd have made it a way of life.
Yeah.
Oh dear me. So what's your take on the price? Hebot. Let's discuss the price with your good self. Or not. Oh, there he is.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, dude.
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah.
Yep.
As clear
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Talking about Facebook group. Young lady that's very
You're breaking up a bit, mate. You're a bit.
Oh yeah, he's breaking up a bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ebot.
Breaking up, Ebot.
I'm not going to take the wind from under his sails, but I know that he's going to point out a very good thing that he came across a few days ago. An article, well, not an article, a video, and I'll let you say the rest, Ebot, because when I watched it, I was like, wow. It completely put the nail in the coffin. Yeah, a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's fair. That's
perfect.
better. There you go.
Okay. I don't know if you guys watched the video I posted up on the Facebook group.
Yeah, I
Did
did.
you?
Yeah, it was on I think you did post it in Project Xbox as well, so it should have been in there. But it's the people from PC World were doing builds.
The very savvy lady that builds PC for a living, right?
Yeah.
And basically, her goal was to build a PC to match the PX as much as possible. And I'm gonna put it to you in perspective this way. They so far with what she had, they had a whole slew of things that were not included that the X has, and the cost of it was $750 so far, right? But to put it in bigger perspective, run the 4K player on a PC with the actual right cables to run the memory cache and bandwidth speed that you need for 4K streaming and the 4K quality is $950.
And that's probably at bare minimum.
Right.
But it's value for money in the long run.
Right. Insomnatech, the GTX 970 is probably one of the best or premier cards right now on the PC market, right? And or one of the best because it runs, pretty efficient, and it's about $450, right? Unless you get the Titan, right? But the Titan is still kind of pricey. So here's the thing. I keep saying this, and I've been saying this for a very long time. Okay, the console is giving us HDR, which right now only the RX 580 supports HDR, and it's not that it's built in; it supports it. In other words, it can do it, but it's not built in it. So it's like a compressed HDR. It is on the X, right? It doesn't. There's no video card out there or intercooling system or CPU out there that's built intercooling chamber that's cheaper than $600 for PC, which you have it on the X as well. Okay, there's no ecosystem on PC that you can run so many people, millions of people with dedicated servers on one banner, under one umbrella, right? Because PC has too many variables. That's another reason why they don't do a lot of things on PC and they get stuff free because you can't really control it. It's not a controlled environment. It's too much variables and everybody runs their things and their personal computers and their towers, all those things that is equivalent to building a PC, they run it differently. There's their cache memory, their DDR, their dedicated memory, their video, whatever. Okay, so they have no HDR. They have no GPU right now that's the DDR5 has built-in DirectX, which is the API which helps the draw calls of computing for game programming for over 50%. Alleviates over 50% between the draw calls from the CPU and the GPU, which is also inside the X. Plus, of course, we like the backwards compatibility. The emulators running. So, and then the video capture. You don't really necessarily need a video capture card, but you need a strong enough video card and CPU that can run your video capture in 4K 60, which is available on the X on the PC, which already, like I said, to just run the clear is $950. Because the problem with 4K is that's what Netflix and a lot of these places like HBO, Optimum Online, the cable providers, that's why they want to stay with 1080p and they don't want to really jump to 4K because the video bandwidth or the video streaming bandwidth that you need is expensive. So they want to be able to still charge you enough money, they make money, and they don't have to spend as much putting out to put 4K content. That's why you see lack of support from cable companies. And this is all factual. You could have got whoever's watching wants to say I'm full of shit, you can go look it up. Okay? Just do your homework and the answers will be there. Right? Instead of just talking without knowing. The consoles gamers and PC gamers are two different entities. We're two different types of gamers. Because console gamers are used to one way, and PC gamers obviously are used to another way. This was Phil Spencer's love letter. I'll emphasize to console gamers, but it would, at the same token, it also benefit PC gamers who don't have access to a 4K card, HDR, or 4K video capture. So it also, without having to really go spend out more top dollar for the upgrade on their PC, because they are going to spend substantially more, and that's a fact, because that's why Mike Ybarra and Albert Pinello and even Phil Spencer, Maverick Fever, Larry Herb have stated on Twitter numerous times that the equivalency of an X with everything that's offering to the consumer is about an $1,800 PC. And most people are like, oh, that's full of shit. You can make one for $400. What do you mean? Something that you're going to run with kickstands and a battery and some dorsal batteries and shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can build one, but it's going to be a 10-year-old processor or at least a 5-year-old processor, and you're going to spend all the money on the GPU, and you're going to realize that you can't keep keep your frame rate steady because your CPU is lacking.
And then a new game comes out, and the specs are higher.
Then you got to change it all.
Right.
Yeah, but that video that you dropped, Ebot, a few days ago, that as soon as started watching that, and she just answered no, when he said, "Can you build an Xbox One X for $500?" and she just said no straight out. That made me
and the funny thing, she said, "I'm gonna get a lot of my PC fan base mad, but I pre-ordered an Xbox One X Scorpio edition as well."
Yeah. Well, at least she was honest. I mean, the video was great, and like I say, I watched it and I had to giggle. But seeing them explain it all as well, it actually helped me understand. I sort of knew that they couldn't do it, but having to explain it, I was like, wow, you seriously can't do it. No chance.
They're very comprehensively. Anybody that can understand English would understand what she's saying. She didn't make it confusing either. And as Insomnatech knows, he's a technical. And we're talking about a dated one right now, a cheap brand, and it could be or even in a video rolls for $350. You see what I'm saying?
Apart from that, and I mean, the thing that lent a lot of credence to this whole entire video as well is the people who did it are from PC World. They make computers, so you know what I mean. You can't argue with that. It's not like it's just another random person on the internet saying blah 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 blah. It's no, this is actually what you need, and it's can you build it for the thingy? No. You can't build it for the price. So again, within what Insomnia said, price wise, can't beat it. It's just the writing's on the wall.
You honestly can't. Like I said, if you want to compete with the X and compete with the frame rate and the visuals, you're gonna need a 1070 GTX 1070, and by itself, you're looking at 430, 450, and that's without the rest of the computer. So either way you look at it, there's no, there's really no beating this price.
That's right. But Delpoi and Insomnatech, the reason why people are feeling threatened, I guess, in the PC industry is because, or the fanboys, because it's not every PC people, obviously. But
no. Definitely only one subsection. It's on both sides, to be honest, with the PlayStation and the PC. I mean, to be honest, the PlayStation guys are sort of shut up a bit more because they're starting to really, really realize, you know what, we're fighting a losing battle here. And the PC guys just really, really do not want to give up because they don't want to admit that, do you know what, this box is better than my computer. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it all depends on your perspective, which you prefer. Me personally, I mean, I've got a 1070 in my laptop. You know what I mean? It can play whatever, but I play turn-based games and RTSs. It's going to last me for 10 years, basically. But me personally, I like playing on my big, like, 55K, like, 55-inch 4K screen. I want to sit back and enjoy playing my games. I'm a console gamer. So, I'm for 500 quid. Perfect.
PC market, right? You have the option that they could upgrade it and they can continue with their investment for years.
Yeah, of course.
But with the console, it's the same principle, just in a different approach. Because once the console, they make a new console with better specs, and we just go out and buy it. It's the same concept, just a different approach. The difference with them is that they keep the same thing. They just keep buying parts and they keep upgrading.
Yeah.
And they spend money. You see what I'm saying? As opposed to console gamers, we spend it all in one shot. But remember, developers are coming out to this now. A console is always going to be a better piece for optimization because everybody's under the same ecosystem.
Yeah.
So they can get into metal a lot faster, more efficient than a PC. Because in a PC, if Insomnatech has a reason I do, or a different LAN bus cable connection, or a different cooling system, because remember, it overheats, and you got to make sure it doesn't overheat because it could fry your motherboard.
There's so many variables. It's insane. Yeah.
Right. Control of that. The console, you can. That's why it makes it accessible to everyone. The casual, the hardcore, the not so casual. Everyone, the moms, the pops, the grandfathers that are not computer savvy. For a computer savvy person, because they know computers. So it's like being butter on a piece of bread. For a person that doesn't know anything about computers, they look at a computer and to them it's like looking at, put take apart a car motor. If it's a nightmare, so they don't want to deal with that. So again, we can live coherently together as one, the PC gamers and the console gamers. But I feel that the PC gamers think that because getting this option, we're going to act like, yeah, look at us, we got better PC, better quality than PC. Fuck yeah, when that's not really the case. That's the way they're looking at it. But that's not really the case, because they still have more options. We know this. Difference being, we choose to get it in a way where it's more accessible and easier for us generally.
Yeah, definitely.
Are there, the updates are there. Shit, Microsoft pretty much does everything for you. Every time you go in a game, like right now, here's a word needs to be updated. They give you the update. It goes right in. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. You've
I'm sorry.
Sorry to cut you off there, though. I completely agree, because, obviously with PC, you've got to get your drivers updated. You've got to make sure you can get all the settings, mess about with them, everything like that. It's not like that, with the console. That's what makes it a bit of an easier option in my eyes.
Well, even if they give you, if you don't have enough memory to support that driver, guess what? You got more memory. You see what I'm trying to say? So on a console is based on the spec. So that's why you don't ever have those errors and mistakes. Well, at least not on Xbox. I know PlayStation had a couple of issues with the updates. The story, but it's a wonderful time for everyone, no matter where you play, whether it's PC, console, or on the Switch. Okay, so that's affordable, in my personal opinion. But and if you don't like it, listen, you don't have to buy it. But if you're up for something new and give it a whirl, guess what? You have the option to buy it. It's a win-win for everyone. And it's a good time. And now the most exciting thing is, let's see what's going to happen. Like Insomnatech said earlier, what's going to happen when these games and developers start making these games right from the beginning, having every an ounce of the specs that they give you and that are at hand of the tools of the hardware to make the games more efficient and better. It's going to be amazing. You're going to see some wonderful things. And that's what you're supposed to be excited about as a gamer. Not that, Xbox got a more powerful console and it's threatening the Switch, it's threatening the PlayStation 4, it's threatening some PC guys. No. It's going to give us better and more efficient experiences. Loading, no screen tear.
Yeah.
Frame rates. A bunch of things. So this is a good thing, not a bad thing. So I'm excited. I have mine paid off. Thank you. That left. I hope everybody that wants one has an opportunity to get it, because everybody deserves to own it and play it, especially if it's your hobby. And I think all of us are going to have a lot to talk about once it's released and we get it in our hands. We start playing the enhanced games and see how insignificant the efficiency of the console is. And it's a good time, man. It's a good time. I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to it.
It's I can't. It's 10 days. I want to bring it forward a bit.
Stop saying that.
10 days.
10 days. And Andy, I mean, what's your take of the price point, mate? What's your price?
I think given how all of these comparisons between the PC, I think it's well and truly good well priced. You know, you think about how all these graphics cards, CPUs, and all that. You know, if you want the latest stuff for your PC, you know, you're looking quite a lot of money. Where, you know, obviously we're not using the latest stuff on console, but it's still new for us, isn't it?
For us, yes, it is. Yeah, and it's the most powerful gaming console made by a margin, a massive margin.
The good thing is though, it's going to make 4K more mainstream, and I think that's the problem with PC, guys, is that a console that's inferior with hardware is going to be pushing 4K better than their PC. Because was it Steam?
Yeah,
not even 1%
of
of Steam users are gaming on 4K, and they must really hate us for it now.
Well, yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter what power they've got in the system. If they're only playing it on a 1080p or a 720p monitor, then obviously we've got a better picture quality, surely.
I mean, was it the last week and this week, I've just been making fun of PC guys for just joining in tweets on consoles. It's just funny.
Yeah,
you may have seen
talking rubbish. Yes, I've been dragged into a lot of it.
Yeah,
I mean the PlayStation Pro. I mean, they should have done the research. They should have got more RAM space.
Yes.
You know, it's like the Welsh said on his video. It's for the VR more than the 4K.
Basically, to me, the PlayStation 4 Pro is PlayStation and Sony is Nintendo Wii U, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
that's the way I look at it.
I mean, they should have waited just like the Xbox One did.
That tickled me.
It's the Wii U Pro, and that's the way I look at it. It was a half-assed attempt.
SoupStation Pro,
the SoupStation PSU.
with secret sauce.
The secret sauce is oxtail soup.
They'll call it with croutons next, won't they? Now with croutons.
Dynamic croutons.
People paid $400 for that console with expectations, and they got fooled with expectations, and Sony hasn't even had the decency to say, we're sorry, this was the real intention. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me. You know, so it's not even really something to make fun of, but I understand why people do it, obviously, but it's a shame because look, Insomnatech bought one, I bought one, got rid of it.
Yeah.
You know, it was worth my money.
At the end of the day, they marketed that as a 4K machine, and it wasn't all we heard all the way through. Like, 'cause I remember watching that presentation because I wanted to see what it was going to be like, and all the way through, every other word was 4K, 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 4K. They didn't say anything about like that. Then they got obviously the checkerboard, but to say it's better this way, it's like.
No, it's not.
I'm not
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that was the last time we heard 4K. Like, they came on stage, they said it, and they lied, and we got the console and realized it wasn't 4K.
Dynamic, dynamic 4K, which makes it sound like a superhero-ish. It's dynamic, but you know
that'll be their new mascot soon.
But
dynamic 4K man.
I like the way that Microsoft has come out swinging with the advert, and it's like says true power. It's like true 4K.
Right.
Well, the reason they said that is because they know that. Yeah. I mean, that's just a marketing point against Sony. They know that they have the better product, And unfortunately, Sony just didn't put any effort in it, and that's what really bothers me. Like I said, their own first-party games don't even support their higher-end console, and that's a shame.
Should do, yeah, definitely should do.
It's like it's almost as if like the PS4 Pro has become the console version of their PSP, isn't it? They're just not supporting it.
Yeah, exactly.
It gets better.
They're just not supporting it, and people aren't buying it because it hasn't got that support. I mean, to have a console that's been out 12 months and it's got 60 games.
Steve, we said to mute.
Oh, sorry.
He can giggle away. Let him carry on. It's fine. I think it was Insomnatech earlier said, was it 60 titles enhanced on the PS4 Pro?
Something like that, 60 or 65.
60. This console isn't even out yet, and we've got over 150. It just
reported on the Pro are like little titles, like Mantis Burning. You see what I'm trying to say? Which could be done even on. It has 2 4K frame buffers. The difference is Microsoft didn't mandate it because the S can do 4K resolution because it has 2 4K frame buffers. Like I said, the thing is that they didn't mandate it. So if you wanted to run something like Cuphead, let's say, or even something like Mantis Burning or Ori, okay, that's less demanding graphically, you can run it. I guarantee you on the S in 4K resolution.
Did you see the screenshot that Keith Williamson, I think he dropped it in both the Mansion and Project Xbox today for Gears of War, that 4K image?
Yes.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Stunning. It looked unreal. That details, beautiful.
The upgrades that have been done to these games are just absolutely incredible. I mean, you've only got to look at Assassin's Creed Origins and see the comparisons, and Shadows of War.
I mean,
the comparisons from that game on the Digital Foundry video, comparing the PlayStation 4 Pro version to the Xbox One X version.
Soup Station.
It was Soup Station. It's unbelievable.
It looks like soup. Oh, I'm sorry, bad days. I'm still. It cracks me up every time.
It was terrible, wasn't it? It was terrible. The texture differences were not. It was unbelievable. It was like we were again looking at the Xbox One and comparing it to a Wii game with those textures. It was unbelievable. I mean. Whilst we talk, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the enhancements. I mean, 150 plus. I mean, I've just jotted a few down that were sort of highlights of that 150. So
I actually have them all in front of me.
Have you? Oh, so what have you got? You got Assassin's Creed Origins, Crackdown 3, Elite Dangerous, F1 2017.
I've got basically, I've done sort of my guess on this, and I think it holds true. Now, a lot of people, including myself, I spoke with Andy about this as well. I spoke with Sean, a few others, trying to think what's going on here now. It says in the availability, it says either in development, coming soon, available now. Right, out of the 150 list, there's 5 available now. Obviously, you got Gears of War that's out, Killer Instinct that's out as well. The actual assets for that. Now, the coming soon. This is what gave it away for me. I was looking at the list, and basically one of the games on the list I've got, which is Diablo 3, great game, it said coming soon. Then a day afterwards, someone on Twitter said, check the list now for Diablo, and it said available now. So my guess, and I think it is a good guess, is any of the coming soon titles on this list are going to be getting the assets either next week or at launch. Because we've got, let's have a look here. I'll just take this for, here we go. Assassin's Creed Origin coming soon. Ark Survival Evolved coming soon. These are all games that are basically as soon as the console lands, they're
going to have them.
Yeah. Conan Exiles coming soon. You know what I mean? Dead Rising 4 coming soon. You know what I mean? These are all the titles that will definitely, I think, see the patch day one.
I don't know if anybody has seen my video. I have a day one Xbox enhanced game official with a question mark video. When I did the update on my Windows PC, I went into the store, and this is no longer in there. There was an enhanced games list that you could buy now, and every one of these games will be out when the X is coming out. So I believe this is the real list, but you can't get to this anymore. It was like a glitch where it showed like buy the Xbox One X and here's the games for it.
Yeah,
and it was a page.
That wouldn't be too unlikely, to be honest with you, because like these things do happen from time to time. Like, you know, it comes out and then they're like, oh shit, we shouldn't have done that, right? Okay, bring it back.
Yeah.
And they put this list out to sort of give us a bit of ease and say like, oh well, it builds hype as well. But yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know about that. Like, so that's good. That was a good find on your behalf, then, Insomnia. That's a really good find.
Yeah, and it's about 24, 30, 31 games or so. And I'm sure they're adding more to the list as it goes, but I think this is the day one list.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, going through that list now, there's like at least 5 of them that are already available now. You can download.
Yes, yeah.
So the assets. So yeah, I mean, I thought they were going to be pushing it fine because considering it's basically only like 10 days away.
10 days, yeah, it's 10 days, I think.
Well, the thing is, they can't just release them all to be downloaded all at the same time because everyone downloading it will slow down all the servers for
mate,
getting them. Really,
when I got my Xbox One day one edition, and I put Forza 7, Rise, and Dead Rising 3 all to download because obviously I'm all digital now. Like, I swear down, I couldn't play my Xbox One for 2 days because it took that long to download. I'm so glad things have changed. It's sorted out the downloads perfectly now. So yeah.
I put a link in the chat. I don't know if you can see it, but at 2 minutes 20 seconds, that's where you can see the list if you'd like to look at it. I don't know if you are able to see that link.
Cool. Yeah, well, I'll definitely check that out. That's piqued my interest.
The other thing as well, I mean, what we've got to bear in mind as well, I mean, we've got all of these games coming, they're all getting enhancements. Obviously, there's a lot of older titles there that are already out, things like Witcher 3, Final Fantasy 15, Forza Horizons 3, Gears of War 4, Halo 5. They're all getting the X treatment, but we find out this week, well, not only do they drop the OG Xbox back compatibility to us, right? They just think, oh, well, we'll just hit them on the other cheat now. We'll give them Xbox One X enhancements for 360 games. And it's like, what the hell's going on? So now we're getting enhancements for the X, for Oblivion, Halo 3, Assassin's Creed and Fallout 3. And I'm sure that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Assassin's Creed on that list. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's above Assassin's Creed Origins.
It's like, for Christ's sake, we're getting Xbox 360 games now that are going to be enhanced for the Xbox One X. I mean, fair play to the Xbox team. They are really fucking going for the jugular.
And for the devs. They're getting on board.
Exactly. And I did a video about that, I think, earlier this week. I mean, the devs are really making this console a success. Without a doubt, this console is going to be a success, not only because of the Xbox team's passion to bring this console, but down to the dev support. It's just been absolutely incredible.
Did you guys?
Sorry, Ebot, you go.
No, go ahead, Andrew. I go after you.
I say, well, they've been rolling with the DDR3 for years, and now they've gone for a faster memory, which is really like set them back with some games, hasn't it? So now, you know, all these developers are going, yeah, we can do this now. It's a lot easier to do.
Yes.
So they're just utilising it as much as they can, and I strongly believe 2018 is when Xbox is going to shine to its former glory, and I think a lot of people are just going to be going, "Ah."
Well, they can't really say much on NeoGAF about it anymore, so
no
window. Can't really moan on there, and that's not me making light of the situation because it's terrible what's been going on. So, but yeah, it's like
it all comes off something else that's happened in the the media, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, there was a video posted on your page, Micro, that had me in stitches.
Oh, what was that?
That one, the guy who reckons Digital Foundry's been paid off, and
Oh my God,
one of his sentences, and I know it because I'll never forget it. He goes, "You're all asking me for sources." He says, "These are my opinions, yo. These are my opinions in my mind. How can I have sources about my mind?" I was like, "Oh my God."
Do you know what made me laugh though? What made me laugh was he says, "You're not real unless you sub." But then
Yeah,
he goes,
you're not real.
And then he goes, and if you sub, you might not be real.
Yeah, make up your mind. The amount of the times like he had to clear his nose. I'm sorry, but like, yeah, he wasn't talking real on the. Definitely under some influence.
There has been, and I think it's been just out of a pure desperation because I think they are realizing, as we said earlier, they are realizing that this system is actually going to deliver on what's been promised. They're seeing more and more comparison videos. Digital Foundry are well behind this system now, and they're panicking. I mean, the real hardcore Sony fanboys, the brainwashed ponies, have gone absolutely doolally. The gamers, on the other hand, are like, for fair play. You know, you've got a new system coming out and it's powerful.
Gamers are happy, which we all are. I mean, the thing that I found funny was, well, not funny in a sense, like really eye-opening. Was I went onto Digital Foundry on that video that they did with Shadow War on the PS Pro and on the Gamescom build for the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
And I went into the comment section and there was a lot of happy people in there, but there was also a lot of removed comments due to low ratings, which I can only imagine where they came from. But the rest of it was happy days. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, this is amazing. You know what I mean? People need to get the head out the negativity and start like realizing that if you really want a true experience, and this is the thing, when people have gone out and they've got like the PS Pro, they've got the 4K TV to match, that's not going to go to waste. Put your PS Pro, send it in, like get a bit of money back, and go and buy the X, and you're going to get all your money's worth then. That's
especially if it really.
So go on here, Bob. Okay.
No, I said especially if it really bothers you that much, and it's funny because now, they're sold out, they're getting paid, but yet when it was in favor of PlayStation, that never came up to topic. But when a Microsoft guy or fan said, well, it kind of feels that they always being biased, no matter Microsoft did that was good, they always found it not being great.
Yeah.
And then when we said being not, but now it's they're getting paid off by Microsoft, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, it is
I
funny.
was trying to say before with Andrew Mack, you guys realize that when they send I guess, you to a lot of these YouTube influencers, so to speak, they send them that kit. In the kit, when you open it up, it has like the kind of actual CPU chip, the 4K chip, and in it is a middle of it, it's in the center of it. It's a booklet, right? In that booklet, it explains the history of Xbox consoles, right? But then what they did was some of the ones that are notice those boxes in particular, a lot of the pro Sony guys. And in the middle of it, of the book, there's a complete diagram showing you the different in the hardware specs of the Xbox One X as far as superiority in comparison to the Pro. We put the picture in the diagram.
Yeah. It went, what was it? Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Xbox One S, PS4 Pro, and then Xbox One X. It just went all the way up the list, like basically, like as the values got higher and higher. And I thought, oh, that's savage.
But that's the thing. Microsoft have, well, I keep saying Microsoft, it's the Xbox team, really. The Xbox team have really picked up on that this time. And they've really, I think they've come to terms with the fact that Sony have been really dirty bastards the last 4 years, and they're giving Sony a bit of their own medicine now, and they're thinking, sod it, we're going to have the most powerful console slated over everything. We're going to have 4K put on everything, and we're not going to take their shit anymore, and we're going to stand up to them and give them some of their own medicine. I mean, the Xbox One X is basically Xbox's two-finger salute to Sony, to be honest. I mean, it's been 4 years. It's Sony's fault, and I said this in the last podcast, I believe, or was it in my last video, that, you know, we've got to thank Sony, because if it wasn't for Sony and their marketing campaign, we wouldn't even have the Xbox One X. So they've done us a really big favor there. They've made the Xbox team stand up and say, right, okay, that's want power, let's give them the power.
That's what we got to do now. When you've got some salty person in the comment section, just say, "Oh, thanks very much for my Xbox. Thank you."
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, PlayStation fans. We salute you.
We do salute you. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have the X.
But like, to everybody listening as well, like, because I'm gonna do it, and I know that Micro's definitely gonna do it.
Oh yeah.
If you get your Xbox One X, make sure you take a picture of yourself with it with a big thumbs up. Send it to @MichaelPatcher on Twitter with the hashtag #PreorderPatcher, because he didn't believe in it. He said it's never going to sell, and guess what? He was wrong.
Selling. Yes, he was wrong again.
He said you were on drugs, didn't he?
Yes. And I've got a great thumb for a thumbs up this week.
Oh yeah, the broken thumb.
Unlike
it's the sliced up thumb.
Oh god. Oh yeah, you saw the sliced up thumb for it as well.
Awesome.
Paint it green. Paint like the actual bandage green, please.
They said to keep it clean.
They did, yeah. Well, yeah.
It's the bandages. It's not the wound. God.
Right. Right. So we're going to move on. Insomnatech, you actually put this down as a suggestion for topics for this evening as well. The Microsoft advertising campaign for the X has started over the last sort of few days. What's your thoughts on the way that Microsoft are going with their advertising campaign at the moment?
You know, I think they're doing a really good job. There was an article I put out not too long ago about how I think Microsoft is actually stepping up their game and might actually know how to market. And it's not because of the new videos they're doing, which are really nice and everything. But if you look at this whole month, Cuphead, Wolfenstein 2, Shadow of War, Forza 7, Assassin's Creed Origin, they got their hands in all those games. Even if it's just an enhancement, or they do have a deal, or it's an exclusive. Any way you look at it, these games are big games, and Microsoft is has their hands in all of them. Plus, they're doing the videos for the X and everything. I think they're doing a good job right now.
That's right. Definitely. I mean, I've noticed the adverts have been dropping, and they're very, they are. You can definitely feel a different sort of style with the way that Microsoft are going with this. And I mean, you've got big coups dropping this week as well. I mean, you've got Sony that have paid an absolute fortune for exclusive marketing rights for games like the new Call of Duty World War II, Destiny 2, and it's just been announced that the Xbox One X versions are going to get enhancements. So they may have the advertising rights for these games, but Microsoft have got the most. They're going to have the ultimate versions of these games on their system, and it's things like this that are really, really pushing this box at the moment, and pushing the momentum. And the marketing campaign is just the icing on the cake, in my opinion, without a doubt.
With the X coming out, it's like Microsoft has their hands in every pot. Like you said, even though Sony has the marketing rights, they got their hands in that pot because people know that it is going to be enhanced on Microsoft's new console. So that's awesome. I mean, I think they're doing a phenomenal job right now. But they still need to get these X's in GameStops playable with 4K TVs. I do believe that. I think that would be a good thing for the average consumer, not the hardcore fans like us. The average consumer to walk in and see the two displays of the PlayStation and the Xbox and play them both and then they'll really see, you know, that it's worth the money.
You have a good.
Oh, go on.
Sorry. The problem with that is that when the kiosks, right, with the games and the, a lot of GameStops or even Target will turn the consoles off, even turn them on, while they have the Switches and the PlayStation kiosks on all the time. And they do things like that. Why, I don't know, but they do that. So that's the only.
Yeah, and you know, yeah, I probably agree with you on that, because you know, like my local GameStop, all these guys, all they do is play PlayStation. They're like anti-Xbox there, and it's kind of funny. It's
what gets me is Americans are renowned for being very patriotic, and yet they can't even be patriotic to their own console, can they?
Right? Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like, was it Japan? They bombed Japan.
Well, I was just about to say, well, the proud of bombing Japan, so like, you know, you maybe feel a bit bad, so got to buy the products. Say sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a bit of a fancy joke. Yeah. I understand exactly what you mean. It should be supporting our own home countries, definitely. You'd think it would.
I think a lot of people are oriented to go where the power is. I just think they're not ready yet until it comes out, and I think the narrative will change. I think that a lot of gaming media sites and all that will come around to be, you know, more Xbox oriented. I think it's just honestly, it's a power thing. Like the end of the 360 era, I built a PC because I wanted more power. I wanted the graphics. I wanted the whole thing, and that's kind of like where I think a lot of Americans are. Possibly, I'm not sure, but that's my personal experience.
I definitely think that the power is the thing that sort of pushed this generation the way it's gone so far in the PS4's favor. Even though the power difference was minimal, the way that Sony were able to advertise it and push that system because of the power, people jumped on board. Even now, I'll hear people talking to me and telling me that the PlayStation 4 is the most powerful console, and that's why they went with it, even though that difference was so minimal. And it was the same with the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, but because the power was even more minimal, I believe, with that system, people still went with the Xbox 360, didn't they? I think the PS4 was a little bit later to market, wasn't it, than the Xbox 360?
$600 too.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I mean, the price was very high, and this is something that they forget now. I mean, they go on about the price of the PlayStation, the price of the Xbox One X is so high. Yet they seem to forget that when the PlayStation 3 came out, it was actually more expensive.
I think it was $100 more expensive.
Yeah.
$600, yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't question it. But when you look at the power of, you know, the Xbox One X at the price that they're selling it at, and they're saying it's too expensive.
I had a buddy that bought 2 PlayStations on day one for $1,200. It's like, and then people are complaining about this really powerful system coming out at $499. It doesn't make any sense to me. I think they will change their mind once people get them in their homes and see, you know, what the result is.
Word of mouth will spread. Like people will go around to the friends, try it, and they'll be like, "Whoa!"
Yeah. As long as they get it set up right. I mean, I'm hoping that the stores like Game and PC World and Couriers and sort of Toys R Us, all these stores that will sort of machine, I hope they've got the actual ability to set these TVs up right, because if they don't, I think they could harm it. But if they can get the setup right,
remember, dude.
What, sorry?
Mommy, child of God. Can't believe it, Dad.
That's the whole reason. People want the best quality for their buck. So, you know, they realize, well, you know, this counts as $400. Yes, it's $100 cheaper, but you're not even getting something as simple as a 4K player, and you are on top of everything else. So why not pay the extra?
You're getting all the bells and whistles just for a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was how I felt when I picked up, but I got the connect. That you were able to do it. I was getting real AAA titles. Killzone Shadow Falls, and Resogun. Getting actually play titles, you know, Dead Rising and Rise, and Killer Instincts, you know, and things fall shortly after, and you know, even Crimson Dragon and Local Cycle. A lot more titles. So I felt it was worth the extra money to have more games to play. You see what I'm saying? And that's how people are going to look at it now. Well, you know, if I buy this, because, you know, right now, multi-plat are the ones who dominate because the multi-plat caters to most casuals don't know what the definition of exclusives really is unless it applies to, like, Nintendo. Because everybody knows you need a Nintendo console to play Mario. You know? Yep. They just from the moment they're born and get into video games, that's everybody knows that you can only play it on Nintendo. So with PlayStation, I think it's a little bit different, you know, because they don't have like that real iconic character anymore. And if they do, it's older. It's like Master Chief or Drake. You see? So kids won't identify with it as easily. So that whole perception, once they see that the games are running so much better, you have PC assets and textures and options like you want either better frame rates or better resolution or higher textures with lower frame rate, you have the option. Once they see that, it's going to be like, oh, well, you know, it's a no-brainer. I'll just get that. Plus, I get a 4K player and I get the 4K streaming with my network. Ooh.
Like so, if you take my example, you know, I have a PC that can run, you know, most games well 4K, but what they're doing is bringing that to my large TV where I can sit down on the couch or lay in the bed and play the same assets that I'm going to get on PC, the same quality to my 4K television, and that's what I'm excited about.
Right, and you could also share it with your family. You don't have to do it by yourself. Like if the way it feels, like a more personal space with your computer. Absolutely, you're 100% right.
What's your take on the marketing, Andy? I mean, have you seen the marketing? Have you seen the adverts?
I have, and I saw it again last night when I went to watch Thor on the IMAX screen, and it looked awesome.
Did they show it at
the cinema?
They showed it at the cinema,
right? The adverts before the film came on.
Wow, perfect. Because I did wonder about that, because when I went to see Thor, I had a PlayStation 4 advert thrust in my face with dynamic 4K. So I did.
We had two. Screen. I said to my mate at the time, I go, for the payers. But
no,
yeah,
I did wonder, because that's where I saw the dynamic 4K being advertised. So I did wonder. I thought, please let Microsoft be advertising this at cinemas.
I mean, I liked it. I've heard some people in the week say, "Oh, it hasn't got enough information on it for like casuals." It's like, well, to be honest,
it tells you.
It doesn't really need all this high spec details on an advert. You know, you just got to wow people with all like these images and stuff like that.
Just get the buzz going. Yeah. Get the buzz going enough for them to go into store and see it.
I mean, I didn't even see. I don't even remember a PS4 Pro video.
No.
So, you know.
I only know the ones where they're trying to advertise games, like where they tried to have they advertised GT Sport, but used all real life footage and no gameplay or cutscenes.
Yeah. I reckon the PS4 Pro will just be sponsored by Cup of Soup.
Oh, no way. The soup ones just keep coming. That's
by PlayStation.
Baxter's Cup of Soup.
Oh, dear. Got a few messages sent to us on the WhatsApp. Actually, there seems to be a real thing going on with pirate names at the moment. I think people are really getting on board with Sea of Thieves. Bootstrap Jenkins. Yeah. He said, MicroBox, can you ask Xbox to send me an X, please? Because I can't really afford one at the moment. He said, oh, by the way, I really like your guys' content, so he really likes the stuff that we're doing. So.
I think he's trying to brown nose, isn't he?
I think he was. I think he was trying
for an Xbox.
I mean, we can ask. Like, I'll be honest. I don't know if they're going to say yeah.
I think so. If they do say yeah,
you never know.
If they do say yeah, I'm not going to give it away.
Hey,
I'm gonna
no,
keep
hey,
it.
wait a minute. That's
He's,
our community. Oh,
he's
bad,
a horrible, horrible
bad,
bastard, Andy Mack.
McKay.
Paul Gates said, "Bring on the X in the games." He obviously can't wait for it. Now, Elite Gaming Guru, he's put a few questions down actually, but
As he would.
as he would. He's a good.
There's always one
guy. He's a good supporter.
He's a good egg. Yeah.
He's put a few questions down, but we haven't really got time to do all of them. But I will bring this one up though. The release date for the PS5, 2019. Hype to downplay the X, or are Sony that bold and desperate? They are desperate. If they, I don't to think of a PS5 dropping in that time, but they will announce it. They might not even have it written on a cigarette paper. At this moment,
actually announce yes, coming out no. Yeah, because the king of announcements. So yeah, I could see an announcement, but that's just to try and steal a bit of thunder.
Just to try and steal a bit of thunder and take some of those sales out of people thinking, "Oh, I'll wait for the."
They need to turn on this secret sauce before they talk about a new console.
Well, yes, yeah. I mean, the secret sauce.
I'm dying for a Big Mac now.
I wonder if it's going to have reggae sauce in there.
That sauce is awesome. That sauce is awesome.
Also, to the person who disliked the MicroPod before it even went live, up yours. Right.
There's always one. Actually, wait a minute. No, don't anybody else dislike, please.
Craig Simmons is in the comment section as well. He says, "Do you think the X is getting delayed? Not a chance in hell."
No. Everything's just
I've heard some things about pre-orders could be possibly backed up, but there's no delay. No.
Some of the pre-orders on Amazon, I believe, have been pushed back towards the middle of November. That's what I heard, but that's just purely because of the demand.
They've oversold.
That's in America.
That's sort of good.
That's
good and bad, though, isn't it? Really?
Oh yeah, exactly.
It shows that it's selling well.
Yeah,
it does.
That's why, I think was it Albert Pinello? Is one of the MicroBox executives said, because of the demand that's being put on the supply at the moment, please don't wait till basically just think you can go and pick one up. Your best bet is to pre-order it, and that's not just to get people to pre-order. It's basic maths, really. There's only going to be so many available.
No, that's the demands. That's because everybody. I think they didn't expect for them to get as many pre-orders as they were, because as you guys remember, they first did the pre-orders for the Scorpio. According to what Phil and Aaron Greenberg said, they said that those pre-orders were supposed to last for a month.
Well, I know as soon as Gamescom went live and they announced pre-orders, I kept refreshing the game website every couple of seconds until I could buy one. So yeah, that was me.
Well, what is?
They disappeared fast. I'm just glad that I managed to get the Scorpio edition. Not for bragging rights. I had the day one edition, and I like getting the special edition. I mean, to be honest with you, when we know what Microsoft are like for making great looking custom consoles, at some point there's probably going to be a custom console. Like I got rid of my day one edition for the Halo 5 Guardian Silver Edition. So I'm probably going to end up getting rid of my Scorpio edition just to get one of the new ones.
I think the Scorpio edition is going to be the rarest edition because they sold out really quickly.
Yeah,
they had to be limited, more limited than
they are going for silly money on eBay. I mean,
each one's got a number on them as well.
Yeah,
that's the thing they did show. So we'll have to check our Scorpios and see which numbers we got on.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I love the Scorpio name. I had to get the Scorpio edition because I love the name, and it's a shame that they haven't kept it.
I know they should have kept it.
Yeah, I can understand. I can understand why they haven't, because they want you to be aware that it's all part of the same family. So I understand that, but
but apart from that, and
they're paying homage to it though.
Yeah, exactly.
And it spells Xbox.
Yeah,
it's the other thing as well. So
yeah, exactly.
Oh, have we lost T-Bot?
We've lost T-Bot.
Which can be a problem when you're trying to write a note down and you want to do acronyms and you just spell out Xbox.
It's like, which one do you mean? Do you mean the one
exactly.
or like the S or the
That's
like
the
the
thing
X?
is, you do get some. You do get some confusion with the name.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I can understand it because obviously you need to keep it all familiar. All the stuff like works. So, yo, all right, Ebot.
321 back in the room.
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I
Yes,
can.
yeah.
David.
Yep.
Are we having trouble like before?
Well, I was asking Insomnatech which one is the one he said that it's going to be really rare. I didn't hear it.
Oh, the Scorpio.
What he said.
The Scorpio.
Yeah. I got the Scorpio edition because I like the name.
Yeah.
Scorpio.
That's all
And I know that. I know that sounds like a stupid reason, but that's why I got mine, the Scorpio one, because I was like, it's the same price, and you're gonna get the name Scorpio on it. Why not? You know. So that's why I got it. But a lot of people don't understand and realize that part of the reason why they couldn't name it the Scorpio, because I think that's what they were going to name it, was because of it's patented in certain countries. That name, the Scorpio,
right.
and that's why.
See,
Yeah,
like
that.
absolute, like complete wealth of knowledge. Like, did we lie? No, I did not know that. Honestly, like, I really did not know that.
We said at the start, mate. We said at the start that you're the wealth of gaming knowledge.
Yeah, fountain of knowledge. That's,
again.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's a shame.
Inquisitive.
Really. Like,
I'm too inquisitive for my own good, which is basically calling me nosy. But that's the point. Yeah, that's what he said. But it's cool. We get the Xbox, and it's called the Scorpio Edition. They could get away with it. That's why I think it's cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, at least there's an explanation for it, and it's not just like trying to crush my dreams. But at least it's got an explanation now. And I realise, interesting.
No, there was a reason. Said it on Twitter. That's the reason why.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, like we say, at least we got Scorpio edition. It's in a nice green color as well. I like obviously it's been discussed on Twitter as well with Mike Ybarra when he was asked about it. I think it was Mike Ybarra. Or it might be Albert Pinello is saying, are we going to see a new startup screen? I really, I mean, absolutely hoping to all hell that they bring back the original OG Xbox startup screen because it'll match. So it'll be X. You know what I mean? That'll be perfect in my eyes. I know you get that on the OG.
I think it is a new startup screen because if you notice, all the people that got the pre-order one, you know, like the review one, the review Xbox Scorpio.
Yeah.
When they went to turn it on, they didn't show it. They teased everybody. Like they were like, "We're gonna show it." Turn it on, and then they cut off the video. They didn't show it. So I think it is. There is a new menu there.
Yeah.
I hope it's like I hope they've just like modernized it a little bit, made it really sharp and everything like that.
Well, at the end of the day, the whole entire dashboard, menu, everything, it's going to be in 4K. Now, that might not sound like much, but it means that the detail on the dashboard is going to be perfect. Now, that works in favour for a number of reasons. One, it'll just look cool. And two, I've actually got like an app from the store called, I think it's Wallpapers Plus. I only paid like £2 for it, and it gets updated daily with 4K HD images that you can actually put as your background, and it's got loads of different categories, and it's awesome. So I'm really looking forward to being able to see these images. Perfect.
Well, what can you say? 10 days. 10 days.
The good thing too, it'll help identify the X from the S. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, which is also pretty cool. It's simple. It's a small touch, but it's a nice touch. You know?
Yeah. Definitely.
Basically, I mean, Xbox has got a really nice family of devices now, and it's just going to get better and better over the next few years. And Sony fanboys can continue crying into their tomato soup and croutons. Anyway,
You know what I always say, like, you know, the S is a perfect console for younger kids that want, you know, just to play Minecraft and Roblox or whatever. The S is perfect for that. And if you're really into gaming, you're a hardcore gamer, pick up the X, and you know, you'll have a great time.
Yeah, most
Basically, face. Yeah.
Guys, we have been going for 2 hours and 30 minutes. I think we've about exasperated everything.
Yeah, because I need a pee now.
He needs a pee. I need a pee. My bag's full.
I need a pee as well. This is what you get for getting old, you know.
This is the old age gamers coming out now. We can't even last 2 hours without needing a pee.
No, I drank loads of fluids before the podcast.
I did as well. At 2 points.
You're always drinking cider, that's why.
No, I've not had any.
Lay off the cider.
It's been an absolute pleasure, as always, doing the MicroPod with this team. Be available, but also having Insomnatech on. I will be happy to have you on again anytime, mate. So give yourself a shout out and spiel off all your YouTube and your Twitter and your Twitch again, and let everybody know who you are.
All right. Well, yes. And thank you for having me on, and to the panel, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate coming on the podcast. And in case you just, anybody in the chat and anything don't know who I am, my name is Insomnatech. I do gaming news on YouTube. It's youtube.com/theinsomnatech. You can also find me on Mixer, Facebook, and Twitch /Insomnatech, and on Twitter @Insomnatech. And if you like reading about Xbox stuff, I got a blog/news website. It's xboxnexus.com. And yeah, I had a blast, guys. Thanks.
No, it's been great having you on. I'm really pleased that I found your channel when I did, and I would love to have you on the show again. Everybody seemed to warm to you. You're really well spoken. You know your stuff. So
yeah, that would be great, man.
You will be on.
That sounded a bit fruity, like from you, the Micro.
Yeah, I know. I like me.
We like you do, but not in that way.
I like my fruity. And as I said earlier, unfortunately, Sherman A2 couldn't be with us tonight, but he will be on the next
Shout out to Sherman. Hope everything's going okay.
It was a shame that we missed him tonight. I love his insight as well. So, Delpoi, if you want to give yourself a shout out and say your goodbyes, mate.
Yeah, just glad to get back to it, like, and be on the podcast. And just another shout out to DX Mansion. Like, all the rooms are green and infinite, and like say, you know, it was great of Hebot to drop that fantastic video a few days ago from the PC World guys, showing that you know, that literally no, you cannot get an Xbox One X version of a PC for 500. It doesn't work. So give up, please, people, give up. Also, Brian on the page, who's always dropping great news, as well as Kelvin. Everybody knows, we all know Kelvin. He's always dropping great news as well. And say to Dorian as well, who's absolutely been spanking it on Gears. He's absolutely wrecked that game. I'm surprised it actually works because he plays it that much. But yeah, respect to him. And he's doing his thing and he's building up. And yeah, that's about it. Anyway, guys. So yeah, thanks for having us on.
Cheers, Dale and Andy Mack.
Well, another podcast done. Yeah, just want to say thanks to everyone in the chat. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter as Andy Mack with the same picture in the on the logo and Hangouts, on Xbox as MacBeard86. And yeah, thanks for everybody.
You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. And the Hebot himself, we haven't been able to hear him quite so clearly this evening, but as always, it's a great pleasure having him on, and I'm glad he's agreed to become a full-time member of the panel. So Hebot, if you want to say goodbyes, mate.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, cool. Real quick, if you allow me, I wanted to say one thing because I didn't get to talk about the marketing that you said about Xbox. If you allow me.
Oh right, yeah, sure.
I think they are doing a very good job on it, just like Insomnatech touched on. But I remember people were saying, oh, well, they should have been doing it for a long time. But I think the reasoning behind that is because you know how they say when things are fresh in your mind, you don't forget. And I think that was their whole intention, that they deliberately did it late, just hit you hard, like Insomnatech said, with things like the Forza and the Cuphead and the marketing deals with Shadows and now Assassin's Creed, so that people, and being that it's only 10 days away, we're just going to keep hearing it the entire month, and it's going to be hard in people's minds. They'll be like, oh wow, I'm interested. What is this? Plus the holidays around the corner. November is Black Friday for a lot of us. So I think it was smart in that part, and I think that was the reasoning for it. That's what I wanted to say about that. So thank you for allowing me. Again, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Michael.
No. I was just saying, no problem. You carry on and say your goodbyes. So do your bit.
Okay. Well, it was an absolute pleasure to have Insomnatech on. I'm going to subscribe to your channel already. I'm going to look at your content. I saw some of your videos. Very good. Well, very well made. Very well spoken. I like your casual, lean type of style. That you're very just, mellow. I think that's excellent, and it works for you very well. I hope you had fun with us. I hope we made you feel like at home. I hope we made you feel like you're part of the family, because that's always been something I always say. I like to make people feel like part of the family when they follow me and all those who I involve myself with. And MicroPod, thank you again for allowing me to be a new member. It's an absolute honor and pleasure, because I know every time I come here, I'm going to talk with you guys a lot of love, a lot of intelligent talk, not just being fanboys only and hating and not really trying to look for reasonings in our conversations and topics, which is what it makes this very different from many other podcasts that you see, that they just like to throw a lot of shades and are ignorant type of not really thinking well about what they're going to say or what they're saying at the moment. So that's part of the reason why I had no second hesitation to say yes to you. You can find me on YouTube at Hebot. That's my channel. On Xbox Live, it's Hebot 8. And yes, there is a space between the he and the bot. And also on Twitter, it's the same thing. It's Hebot Powerful Gamer. On Twitch, it's also Hebot Powerful Gamer. And on Mixer, because I also do some mixing, a lot of retro stuff, it's it's he_bot_8 with a colon on top, or a quotation mark, question mark, and then an S. I don't know why it's written that way. That's the way they did it. Find me there. So, if you guys are interested in my content and what I do, thanks again. And it was an absolute pleasure. And the next one was going to be even more exciting, because by that time we'll have the X and we'll already play with it and know what's going on.
Yes, no, I do plan to have another MicroPod. If I can tear everybody away from their consoles, the following Saturday.
Never.
Following Saturday, then I'll be doing a podcast with a controller in our hands, I think. Really looking forward to it. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. I want to thank everybody in the comment section, everybody that's checked out the podcast. I really do appreciate everybody that messages us and shows us your support. We do appreciate it, so it's why we do it. So there you go, another MicroPod finished, the last one now before the launch of the Xbox One X, which is, I believe, 10 days away. 10 days and counting. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on Insomnatech. You will be on again as long as you want to come back on again. Definitely want you on the show again without any hazard, without any question. There's no possibility of us turning you down. No, really appreciate it. And as I said before, go and check out his channel, go and check out his stuff, because his videos are very, very good. And check him out on Twitter. That's it, guys. That is the last MicroPod before the Xbox One X drops. And take care, and we shall see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.